Getting my prescriptions has never been easier or less expensive now that I use VA Healthcare. I order online or by phone and they're delivered in a few days. With low or no copay. Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is All Things Elite. Welcome back to All Things Elite. Load up the pod, man, it's on when we speak. Rich right here, let me warm it up for Austin and Floyd. Couldn't be no one but the boys. When it come to All Things Elite from the fan perspective, swear, man, it ain't no question. Hear from them first. Swear, man, they putting in the work. No, they had to get me for the verse. Social Suplex Network's on. Hours at a time in your headphones. Austin and Floyd on the microphone. Backing out on the ring, getting in the zone. Pulling up the show, give it 7 stars, you already know. Who else could it be but the show with the proclivity for positivity? I'm gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 285th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz. I'm the host of this lovely show, and joining with me, as always, my good buddy and friend, my co-host, who, just like me, got back a little while ago from being in Arlington, Texas, from All In Weekend, my good buddy, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr. You doing good, Floyd? Because I'm still exhausted.
Dude, I am surprisingly good because of the extra day. I stayed Sunday night to Monday morning. Pretty much what our Sunday night was, me and my wife went out to the steak restaurant in Dallas that I like. Then we came back to the room, and it was like 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock Central, and we went to sleep. And we pretty much slept all night. So what you're probably going to do tonight, we did last night. Because I knew I had to work tonight, so I'm actually pretty refreshed. Now, I may crash tomorrow, but I'm pretty refreshed. I'm pretty refreshed right now. It was an action-packed weekend. I will say this, it's just like, I always get like, heavy and be like, oh, dude, but just literally appreciate things while you're doing it. I that's all I can say. Because I remember buying this ticket in November and July seemed so far away. I remember getting people for Christmas gifts or whatever, and July seemed so far away. And then last week, I'm like, I'm staying in a hotel from Wednesday to Sunday. And it takes so far away. It will take so far away. It's over. We're done. Like, this thing that we found out about in November is over. And it's just like, it was, even my wife said, who is not a hardcore wrestling fan by any means, she's a I watch wrestling because my husband does person. Right. And she said it was like one of the best weekends she ever had. Because she got to hang out with Eva. They got to go to historical places. They got to go shopping. They got to go to a pickle museum. Do you think she would have ever went to a pickle museum if it was just me and her? No.
Probably not. No.
So she got to do stuff, like vacation-y stuff. She got to hang out at the pool. She had someone to do it with. So that was fucking awesome. Shout out to JR and Eva. They enhanced the trip on a level. Made a new friend. His name's Ron. I met him just in the hotel, in our hotel, standing by the elevator. He was really cool. And then all the Social Suplex people came out. But yeah, this was like, generally, this is what happened, especially with JR. Because JR, he's a planner. He likes to do a lot of stuff, right? So he came up with this big, long list of like stuff he wanted to eat, places he wanted to go. And it's like, for the first time in vacation history, he actually did it all. We did it all.
Wow.
Yeah. And we had this daunting Friday schedule for meet and greets. We hit them all. We didn't miss any of them.
All right.
So, like, this has been fucking crazy. Like, this weekend was fucking crazy. I've always said, and I have never doubted, I've never doubted this for me, that All In weekend was going to always be number one for me. I've said it many times. If somebody puts on a good show that I happen to be at, and they be like, where does it rank all time? I was like, well, the highest it can be is 2, because All In's never going to be beat, right?
Yeah.
What did it take to beat All In?
Another All In.
It took another All In to be an All In. I doubt anybody from AEW really listens to this show, but if you happen to throw it on and try to I want to thank literally everyone, wrestlers to everyone, for putting on this amazing weekend. It was absolutely great. Any gripes I have are so minor, I don't even plan on bringing them up in this show. They might come up later, but nothing for me. Nothing but gratitude. Nothing but enjoyment, nothing but love. I am still on my wrestling high from Saturday. So I didn't sleep. Like, Saturday night, I literally ended up having to take a gummy. I had so much problem sleeping because I was still fucking amped up from the show. And it wasn't just like, we went after the show. The show lasted forever. We then went to a bar with Social Suplex people, drank, watched the MMA fight. I was going to keep hanging. The only reason I ended up leaving is because I realized my wife had the only hotel key. And I was 99% sure she was going to pass out. And unlike a lot of people, when my wife falls asleep, she is dead to the world. She's done. Like, she ain't getting up. So it was like, go home or find somewhere to stay. Because, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm still on a high. Absolutely. We have so much to talk about, obviously, with this show. All In, the show itself, Starrcast weekend. Our boy Floyd also got to go to Ring Up Supercard of Honor. We got a lot to get to. We're going to try to cover everything as quickly as we can. This may be a pretty long show, so just be prepared for that, but we're going to try to hit everything as best as we can. Before we get into everything, guys, we want to make sure you're supporting this show by downloading it on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to us to. Turn automatic downloads on and give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, and follow us on Twitter. We are at ATElitePod on Twitter, at Social Suplex are the guys that make this show possible. Check out all the other shows they have on their network. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter, and as a reminder, please check out Shop Tees for some t-shirts from Social Suplex and ourselves, and also sign up for the first Social Suplex newsletter. Links to both are in the description of the show. Big news of the week is it being All In weekend. So, Floyd, do you want to go ahead and we'll just go over our Starrcast week before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show?
Absolutely. Starrcast, shout out to Starrcast. Amazing weekend. Amazing guest list. Yeah, so me and JR tag teamed it. I think we had 16 tag team meet and greets. I don't even remember what the number was, but it was super awesome. So we met so many people. Let's see. I'm bringing up my phone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even remember the number of people that we met.
Just a second. Yeah, I'm bringing up my phone so I can be like, okay. So I don't want to forget anybody. I had
of course, yeah.
I had a good solid list. Okay. Shout out to Jason, my guy Jason. Not just J-Ro. J-Ro, of course, J-Rose, like, he's one of the MVPs of my life. That dude, like anytime I need anything, like he's at a show or something, I'm like, oh, can you get this shirt for me? It's like I ask, but I know he's gonna do it. It's like he's just that type of legend. So I definitely want to shout out my boy J-Ro. It was great hanging with him all weekend. I think this is like one of the first weekends we really like hung together. He did his stuff. We jumped in lines together. He made a lot of lines like not that long of a wait because he was in there holding the spot for us. But yeah, so I wanted to definitely make sure he got the acknowledgement on that one. So Dynamite. All right, there. Oh yeah, there's more people that I got. I left some pictures off my I did like all my friend pictures, and I left some people off.
Yeah,
because it just got lost in all of this. So there's okay. So we met Sky Blue. She was awesome. I got to tell her I was in Dallas when she unfortunately broke her ankle. No. I was like, I've been watching wrestling my whole life, and that was like the scariest thing I saw because you were literally 5 feet away from me. And I was like, I am so happy. I'm so happy that you're good now. Thank you for working so hard and all that stuff. And you just, kind of tell, she was impressed because I was just like, I wouldn't say impressed, just like, she was like,
she appreciated it.
Yeah, she was appreciated what I had to say because it was just like one of those things. It really was scary. Like you see these injuries on TV and they're distant, so it's almost they're not real. And you see someone sitting in front of you writhing in pain, and if you don't feel something, I don't know. I can't say something's wrong with you. Whatever, you might be used to it, but like at that moment, I didn't know what to do. And then met Daniel Garcia, told him to make up with FTR. He said, forget those guys. And he didn't, he said the other word that.
Yeah, a little bit shorter word than that.
Yeah, didn't forget. So then we had Willow. So Willow was cool because I went to the Fort Worth Stockyards the day before, right? So I was in this little thing looking at it, and they had these little wanted coasters. And it had all the names on it, right? And, I was just going through the names. Of course, they didn't have Floyd. They didn't have Crystal. Daniel was one I was looking at. It was gone. David was one I was looking at. It was gone. But all these normal names they had. But guess what name they had? Willow. They had Willow.
Oh, my goodness.
I was meeting Willow on Friday. It felt kismet. So I bought it. It was like
perfect.
Like I literally, I am very much. If it ain't FTR, I've literally never given a wrestler a gift ever. Other than FTR is like the one person in that group. Like Cody's my favorite wrestler. Never given him a gift. I could go through the list. I just don't do that. I'm like, I'm paying for the meet and greet. I'm not giving you a gift too. But I saw that and I was just like, okay, she's meant to have this. So. When we met her, she's like, oh, I met you at WrestleCon, didn't I? She remembered me. It's always nice.
Yes.
It's always nice when your future wife remembers you. Just kidding. I kid. I love my wife. And I'm pretty sure that wouldn't work out. Just put it that way.
No, probably.
No, but so I gave it. She's like, this is so cool. And she hold it up. And she did this, I don't know if you saw the picture. She did this
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, she did this blank stare like a prison photo because it had the wanted Willow on it. So I thought
1,000-yard stare was so good.
Yeah, I was like, that's so cool that she did that. Oh, okay, I see your, then we got Ricochet, who gave me a look because I told him, I was like, hey, dude, you're so cool. I was like, you want to know how cool you are? And he's like, how cool are you? How cool am I? I was like, I'm a diehard Chiefs fan. And he was like, oh, he's like, I thought y'all were going to come back and win. I was like, there was a point I thought we were going to come back and win. But, I think I was like at the beginning of I'd say the second drive of the third quarter, y'all sacked us 3 times in a row. And I was like, oh, we can't block these guys. And I kind of tapped out. And he was like, oh, yeah. So we chatted not about wrestling, which is hilarious. Then I got a picture with the Ops with my boy Big Willie. So this pissed me off because I was doing the thing where I was switching shirts, right?
Yes.
So I have the Big Black and Jack shirt.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. So I bring it with me, right? And when I was finding it that morning, unfortunately, all of my shirts are black. So I couldn't find it. And I was like, did I leave it at home? So I left without it, right? So I was like, damn it, I was going to wear it. And then he told me that he didn't know Willow had a big, on that Double or Nothing moment, which I told him it was the moment of Double or Nothing. He didn't know she was wearing that shirt.
Wow.
That's it. So he was like, his reaction was him being shocked to her wearing the Big Black and Jack shirt. I did the cross arm thing because I get it. You know, nobody else did, but I did it. But they were holding a belt, so it's kind of.
Sure, yeah.
I did the cross arm thing because, but, I did the cross arm thing with a big ass smile on my face because, that's what I do. And then we met. We have the last together picture of the patriarchy.
Yep, because they are no longer together, as we'll get into later on.
Yes, but I got that last picture, and Christian was a douche to both of us. Then he was a douche the whole time. He kept that look, and then he said thank you as we went away. It was kind of funny. It's like secretly nice. You know you're nice. Then, so there was the Sting's line was stupid long. So we were in the Hurt Syndicate's line, and it was like. It was like 30 minutes past their thing, and I was like, man, I got flashbacks to Las Vegas where MJF didn't show, and I was like, dude, they haven't shown up yet.
We were talking about that literally in line for him.
Yeah, I was like, they haven't shown up yet. I'm gonna miss Sting, and I'm not gonna miss Sting to not get it, so I'll run up. But Sting, they were literally only doing the pre-purchases, so when I got up there, I was only like 10 or 15 in line. So me, JR, and my friend Johnny got the picture. I got to tell Sting something personal. Asked him about London. Told him about London last year, talking to him. He remembered that he talked to someone, but he didn't remember it was me, which is whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the dude is older. I mean, he's very quick still. He still had his off-the-cuff comments, don't get me wrong. But I mean, this was like a 5-minute conversation last August. So... Who the hell? I don't know if I would remember it if I wasn't talking to my hero, one of my heroes. So that was cool. Got the picture with him. Then the best part is then we ran back down and we still got the picture with the Hurt Syndicate.
Awesome.
But somebody's big ass cowboy hat was in the freaking way on the Hurt Syndicate picture. Who do you think that would be?
Mr. JR.
Yes. So JR, it's like he comes to Texas, I got to wear cowboy hats and jeans. And I told him, no one in Texas dresses like that. I basically live here, and I'm going to tell you, no one dresses like that. I gave him shit all weekend. We were in a Buc-ee's. I say, look in this whole store. Tell me one person in jeans and a cowboy hat. He looked around, and he's like, this is a tourist thing. And I was like, no, you're the tourist, and you know how they can tell? You're wearing jeans and a cowboy hat. It's the fucking summer in Texas. Nobody's wearing jeans and a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're wearing jeans, if you were wearing jeans in that weather, you were a psycho.
Yes, he was a psycho. Then of course I got the FTR pick, got to take Dax, my Briscoe figures because I had another set. He was appreciative. We got us a good picture in with Cash wearing his Johnny Cash shirt.
I saw somebody else in line actually who had one of the FTR championship belts.
Yeah,
and we got a picture with them.
Yeah, we held it up against each other. It was cool. It's like 1 of 20 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Do you think they'll sign it?" I was like, "Do you have a pen?" And he's like, "I don't know." I was like, "The worst you can do is have the pen out and see what happens." Like.
And did they do it?
I don't know. He never told me. I didn't see the guy again, so they may have. I don't know. They didn't sign mine because, whatever. I didn't ask him. I'm good. I have their signature on more stuff
everything
that you can think about. The belt, I'm kind of okay with not having it.
Yeah, keep that clean.
Yeah. So then we got Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. So I had bought Megan Bain. JR buys Penelope Ford and says, "Hey, let's just do all one picture." And I thought that was really fucking cool. And we have
That was dope, yeah.
Megan Bean, and she's super, super nice. Like, super nice. I could do nothing but tell people, hey, you should meet her. We met Thekla, who was cool. So
she had a huge line when we saw her.
So dude comes in and says, basically, she has a heart out at this time. We only got like 20 minutes. And there's a guy that just starts having this long fucking conversation with him. Mm-hmm. And I didn't stare at the guy. I started staring at the assistant. Like, do something about this. You literally just told us that she has a heart out. We've all paid. Why wouldn't you be speeding people along?
And they were speeding up people like in the photo ops like crazy. I remember like how quickly they were moving people through the pro photo ops.
Yeah.
Like when we met FTR, like we were getting ready and we were in the area and all that kind of stuff. And Dax and Cash just be talking to people and all that kind of stuff. And the guy who they were trying to speed people along, but Dax and Cash literally came up and they're like, when we're done with them, we will let you know and we will move them along. Like, hey, like chill, basically. So like they were in a situation where they're like, we're going to stay until we meet everybody and we're going to talk to people. So like considering that they had a heart out, like they were moving people along there. I don't know why they weren't doing it there.
Yes. So people like, that's why they're my favorite tag team. Okay. They're great. Even when they're not good guys, they still try to give everybody their own time.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just going to say this. Every AEW event, like FanFest, Starrcast, there is one tag team that is always there. And there is one tag team that is never there. I will let you
think that would be?
Yeah, I will let you say that to yourself. I think the company's named after them.
Yeah, I think they just lost their executive vice president title.
Yeah, their company's named after. I'm just saying, like, people like want to give my boys shit. I'm like, they're always there. You want to meet FTR? Just wait for the next thing. They're gonna be there.
They will be there.
You want to meet the Young Bucks? Pray.
For real.
Yeah, because those good Christian boys, maybe they'll hear your prayers.
And maybe if they make new shoes or some bullshit.
Let me tell you. Now, I am very much acknowledging that basically the Young Bucks invented this meet and greet thing. So they've probably been meet and greet to death. But if you think about a company that's been around 6 years, you have new fans.
Mm-hmm.
You have fans that couldn't afford to meet you when you were doing those meet and greets. I'm not saying show up for me. I've met you like 11 times. I'm cool. Until recently, I had more stuff signed by the Young Bucks than FTR. So I'm not saying this for me. I'm not even putting anyone down. I'm just saying you have new fans that want to meet you. So
right.
I'm not saying you got to do everyone. If you can make yourself available once a year,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, give good notice, make yourself available once a year. Put it in a tight time. I don't know what you got to do. I don't know how all this shit works. But I just know there was a lot of people upset. Well, a lot of people that I was in contact that were like, why aren't the Young Bucks doing something kind of thing? And it's just like, this is all in, it's all in. If you're going to do one, the people in the group need to do it for all in. So, yeah, let's see. Let's go. I'm almost done. I was almost done. We got Dustin Rhodes. I haven't got that picture yet. Jeff Jarrett. Mina. She was, Mina. Let's see. I don't miss anybody. Like Dustin, like I said, was there. That was all the people I met at Starrcast. And then I'll just throw it in there while we're talking about meet and greets. I did the Dark Order. They were the pre-show VIP hologram, which was cool because hologram I had never met. My wife wanted to meet Satnam Singh. She just thinks he is gorgeous. So so she got to meet Satnam Singh. Then we got win or lose, we booze, baby. We got to meet the frat house.
Go.
Frat house, baby, forever. And then while I was down there, because he was VIP, I got to meet Mr. Tom. It's Grossi or Rossi?
Yes, Tom Grossi.
Yeah,
yes.
and I got a photo with him. And I sent it to Sydney because Sydney kept saying, "Did you see Tom?" And I was like, Sydney, I want to be like, Sydney, I love you. I am definitely not as into him or his stuff as you are. I mean, he's fine. I think he's funny. Don't get me wrong. I think he's funny, but it's just like, hey, that's your thing. I got you. That's your boy. Then she told me he was vegan, and I was like, yeah, yuck.
Yeah, I was gonna say you ain't gonna mess with that. For sure. I was gonna say if we didn't end up doing the dinner afterwards like we were planning on because everyone was so fucking exhausted after the show. But if you would have came to the dinner afterwards, you would have been like, yeah, I gotta eat somewhere else, guys. I can't eat with all these plant eaters.
I literally had shrimp tacos after the show.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, I am a meat eater all the way. So.
Yep. Yeah. No, and for my meet and greet stuff. So I actually, because you got in Friday, right? Or no, you got in Thursday.
Correct. Thursday.
Yeah. So
Wednesday.
You got in.
I got in Wednesday.
No, yeah. Sorry, you were a day earlier.
I went to Dynamite. Yeah.
Yeah. But you went to Dynamite and you went to Collision. We ended up going ahead and we had free tickets to Collision, but that we got from a friend who was awesome enough to give them to us. But a combination of a few things. One was we went to Six Flags over Texas beforehand, which was a lot of fun. But the heat came down on us hard, and we're from Michigan. We get heat. We don't get Texas heat, and it wiped us. Like we were waiting in line for some stuff, and as the day went on, the line started to get a little longer. Before it was honestly like we were able to walk on most of the rides that we wanted to ride, but lines started to get a little bit longer, and the heat was wiping us out. So we were like, we're just gonna head back to the hotel, and then combination of Sid just wanting to get pizza sent back to the room, and then her not wanting to be late for the thing that we were going to go to next, we just ended up missing Collision. We actually took a nap because we were fucking wiped. And we went to the all-in karaoke party at the Starrcast Hotel. Both me and Sydney signed up to sing, and the way they did this actually was quite interesting. So new wrestlers would just keep coming in basically like all the time. Like they just kept stacking in and coming in. They basically had you, if you paid to get the premium where you would get to sing with a wrestler, you threw your name in a hat and the wrestlers chose you at random. And you had no idea basically who you were going to sing with. So I will say there were some that were more luckier than others in terms of the talent they got to sing with. But as they were going through the first few people who came up to sing, first of all, Takeshita came up and sang and everyone lost their mind. I loved it.
What did he sing?
Thursday, I don't know, it's Friday, I'm in love, something like that. Like I can't remember the name of the song. Like I don't remember it, but he sang that though, and it was fucking amazing. Oh shit, what fucking team was it? It was I can't remember the fucking team name. It was it was Kevin. I think it was not Kevin Knight and them, but like I think it was the damn man, I can't remember. One of them sang break stuff basically and started moshing in the crowd, which was amazing. But we were waiting to see who got their name called, and then the frat house comes out and they're joking around as they're like grabbing names. They're like, nah, this name, nah, this name, nah. And then eventually they pull a name and they pull my name. So I run up and Preston Vance goes nuts. He's like, because I'm wearing a Tigers hat. And he's like, Detroit, let's go. Like Michigan boys represent. And Thunder Rosa was running the whole thing. And she remembered me from the Jericho Cruise.
That's awesome.
She was like, this is the dancer. Like, this is the guy who danced on the cruise and shit. Like, because I ended up in her vlog from that day. So when she remembered me, I was fucking ecstatic. So we walked off. I was like, all right, guys, you guys got any idea what you want to sing? And I was just like, because my go-to that I do basically almost every time I go someplace new, my go-to is Yeah by Usher. Brian Keith was right behind us, and he was like, oh, you do that? Oh, that slaps. That slaps. And they were like, all right, let's do it. and I think Griff Garrison was all in on singing with me. I think a couple of the other ones were like, we'll dance in the background a little bit, but we eventually get up there and sing. It was a lot of fun. We got the crowd going. Preston Vance took his shirt off at one point and started twerking, which was amazing. I don't know what came over me, but when it got to the take that and rewind it back, Lil Jon got the beat that make your booty go. He's twerking and is putting his butt out towards the crowd. I spanked him. I don't even know what came over me, but I spanked Preston on his ass. I don't know what came over me, but I was like, as I did it, I'm like, I may have overstepped a boundary, but he didn't give a shit. So I was like, okay,
yes,
you know what? When you're both from Michigan, you can spank each other on the ass. That's just how it goes.
Apparently, that's the rule. Okay.
I was like, I don't know why I just did that, because that could have ended very badly. He could have been very upset if I did that, but thankfully he did not care.
Yes.
So, but it was awesome. I ended up on Ring of Honor's Instagram story for my performance, which was nuts. So that was very cool. Sydney ended up singing too. She got to sing with Serpentico, and they actually were one of the last groups singing. She sang Pink Pony Club with Serpentico. He brought out the streamers and everything, and it was fucking amazing. Got a great reaction from the crowd too.
Dude, yeah, this is my old moment. She's like, we sang Pink Pony Club. I was like, what the fuck is Pink Pony?
I knew you wouldn't know what that song is. I knew you wouldn't know what that was.
I was like, what the fuck's Pink Pony Club? And she's like, Chappelle Roan. I was like, who the fuck's Chappelle Roan?
Chappelle Roan, yeah.
Chappelle Roan. I was like, who the fuck is that? I'm old.
Yep. I was like, you ain't going to know who the hell she is.
Dude, so Willow's gear from the show.
Yes, it was Pink Pony Club themed.
Yeah, I only knew that because of Sydney. So
yeah,
shout out to my girl Sydney.
Shout out.
Keeping me at least 6 months younger than I feel all the time.
But no, the biggest surprise of the night, though, was Mr. Brian Danielson came to karaoke, and he was ridiculous. He's like, when I do my performance, because he was singing with a random fan who was dressed up as Brandon Cutler, he's like, I want no dancing, no phones, just silence while I sing, and everyone starts booing. And he's like, if you don't shut your mouths during my performance, I'm walking out of the Sheraton Hotel, and I'm never coming back. He's like, This song is emotional, and it means something to me, so shut up. And it's Genie in a Bottle by freaking Christina Aguilera.
You better rub me the right way. Yeah.
Yes, and he gets into it. And then our boy Will Ospreay also appears, but Danielson comes out and basically says Ospreay refused to do karaoke unless he sang with Danielson. And I'm like, first of all, that's bullshit. He would have sang karaoke with anybody if he had enough drinks in him. He still had a ways to go in the night. But him and Danielson sang I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys, so that was a lot of fun. Whole night was awesome. Eventually, though, what was crazy, though, because there was a group that started singing, a lot of the female talent started singing Mariah Carey's We Belong Together. And I'm just vibing up front with everybody. Thunder Rosa comes down, she sees me, and then we start slow dancing. And
yes.
I like kind of have her against me, and like I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like I was like, oh my God, like because there were some people like that were watching me too, and they're like, does she know him? Like what the fuck? Like
and Austin became a man again.
I was like, literally as we finished, I like walked the other way and I was fanning myself. I'm like, okay, I was not expecting that. So
I don't know. I don't think
I'm just saying right now, man, I might be fighting you for Thunder's number one fan at this point. Cause like the fact that she remembered me, first of all, was amazing. And that we got to dance with each other was amazing. She's a sweetheart.
She's hey, it's okay. She is awesome. Like yes. I said, like she's just one of those very personable people.
Yes.
Like make you feel very comfortable really quickly. So I'm glad you got that time with her. I'm glad you got that moment with her.
It was awesome. But that karaoke night was awesome. Starrcast, we went crazy as well. We only missed a couple. So we were also in line from Hurt Syndicate when they were taking forever to show up. Sydney looks on Twitter, and the Starrcast Twitter tweeted out basically, get up to the Crunchyroll booth on the second floor in like 5 minutes. You don't want to miss this. And I'm like, I mean, if they're doing that, because the Crunchyroll booth had nothing but Mercedes Moné collab merch with Crunchyroll. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if they're doing that, I mean, Mercedes has got to be showing up, right? And she's like, I don't want to lose my spot. And we were with a couple of our friends, Sean and Alex, and she's like, can you just go upstairs and get a spot? If it's Mercedes, text me. And I go up there, and I'm like, it's Monet when she shows up, and she runs. Sydney runs all the way up top to us. And we gave our Hurt Syndicate meet and greet to our buddies, Sean and Alex, for them to just have for themselves. So we missed them, but we had met basically all of them except Shelton. No, actually, no, because we met Shelton at WrestleMania Access for WrestleMania 34 when he was teaming with Chad Gable. So we'd met everybody basically from that group already.
Okay.
So we got up top. Mercedes is there, and they brought out more merch for the table and stuff like that. A little girl got to go up and meet Mercedes and was talking to her as she was getting some merch. And our buddy, we're actually good friends with Steve, who was one of the big wigs for Starrcast. We originally met him when he was doing the Bullet Club block party. He ran that whole thing. And then Sydney was helping put together the Discord for Tama Tonga's podcast, Tama's Island, which he ran. So Sid became really good friends with Steve. I was familiar with him too, and we knew who he was basically when we ran into him. So Steve's up there when Mercedes comes up, and we were just like, hey, what's up, Steve? And Steve comes up to the police officer that's like kind of there because there's a lot of security for Mercedes, and comes up to them and goes, hey, make sure these two are next. And then Sydney gets to go right up and meet Mercedes and talk with her as she gets merch. And I'm like, bro, thank you so fucking much, because we didn't ask for that. He just did that for us. He did us solid, meant the world to us. Sid was able to get a signed poster, and also got this kimono jacket thing, which is badass, if not expensive as shit, but it was badass. And then we got a pic with Sydney with Mercedes. It was spectacular. It was such a cool moment. And then the only other ones we missed Scorpio Sky. We technically missed Christopher Daniels, but we also met Curryman. So it felt basically similar to Christopher Daniels. So, but Scorpio was the only other one we missed out on, because by the time we got done with our pro photo ops and headed up, even though it was said that they were still going to be there, they weren't there anymore. So, but we met fucking so many people. Obviously, got my picture with the frat house after our performance, which was lovely. I got a picture with Thunder from the karaoke party. We met Tony Storm and Luther, Sting, Mina Shirakawa, Curryman, Ricochet. Ricochet was trying not to break while Curryman was talking shit in the background. It was very, very funny. The Ops was an awesome one that we met. Brody King and Julia was also very cool. FTR, Bryan Danielson, Okada, Swerve and Nana. We got to talk with our girl Aubrey again. Hangman, Priscilla Kelly. The inspiration was a great one too, because I was like, hey, I'm Austin. And then she's like, oh, that's my son's name. I was like, no way. Because I straight up didn't know that for Cassie. And then Sid told them, like, hey, I'm Sydney, like Sydney, Australia. And Jessica goes like, literally, if I have a daughter, I'm naming her Sydney. I'm just like, this shit's fucking crazy. And they were absolute sweethearts. Loved meeting them. And then we met my boy, Monty Brown, Saginaw's own, my boy. I was so gassed to see him. And I was like, hey, it's Austin from Saginaw, and like all that kind of stuff. He's like, oh my God, so good to see you, and all that kind of stuff. And he was just like so great. I was just happy to see that he was doing this, because like I said, I didn't know he was ever going to do a wrestling meet and greet again.
Unfortunately, they said this was probably going to be his only one, which upsets me.
That's what I said, yeah.
Because I had to miss it.
Yeah, I know. But the whole thing with the VIP, you got some cool moments with being at the VIP thing, but it still is a bummer that they made you miss the stuff that you paid for.
Correct. And it's like one of those things. This is, to me, their first, like big American all-in weekend where it's kind of like the WrestleMania weekend. There is always going to be a few kinks. They'll work it out the next time. I'm very much
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And then we had 2 more meet and greets afterwards, but we will talk about it later. And I got my pick with Brian Keith on the last day as well, but we'll talk about those.
BK all day?
No. Yeah. We met BK. Yeah.
I love BK. He's my favorite. He got Swisher House played on TV, so.
Dude, it was great. I was vibing with him during the karaoke party and shit like that. But what was amazing was when I met him before he left the hotel was I went to dap him up. He went for a fist bump, and then we went for the dog shit like soft, like, oh, that was a bad handshake shit, and it was bad. I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, if I would have got karaoke and somehow got Brian Keith, we would have had to do Swisher House.
Yeah, I don't remember what Brian Keith did, actually.
Because we grew up on the same music. I'm from Oklahoma. We got a lot of Texas music. So it was like screw music, that kind of stuff was super popular in my high school and into the 2000s. So that would have been fucking cool.
Daniel Garcia busted out some Natasha Bedingfield Unwritten, which was amazing.
I have learned now. I had to learn my lesson that when it comes to karaoke, buy that ticket immediately.
You need to. Yeah, they sold out and they're like big time. Like Thunder was all the time being like, tell people about karaoke. We want to do this over and over again, basically. You need to show support and share it online. Talk about how great of a time you had so we can keep doing this. Because, dude, it's nuts how much wrestlers love taking part in this. Because there were so many that just kept showing up and just arriving and doing shit. Like, it was crazy.
Yes. It's kind of amazing. I'm glad y'all, I'm very happy that y'all had that experience because, that's what the week's about. I was at Collision and got to hang with my girl Jackie Guerrero and, got to see FTR wrestle. You know what I mean? It wasn't a match didn't necessarily go the way I wanted it to, but.
Yeah. But then,
I'm sorry, I sneezed.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, but, the show was fun and, we had a good time. Went to a bar, Los Locos, after Collision. That was cool, too.
Yeah. And of course, like you mentioned, like our boy Tom Grassi was there. Bless you. Our boy Tom Grassi was there. My sister Sydney is a moderator for his social media stuff in Discord and YouTube and everything like that. So she's really good friends with Tom. I'm cordial with him too because I know him. I first discovered him, but when I put Sydney on him, she fell in love with his shit. So she got way more into him than I did. So he's cool talking with me but basically knows me as Sydney's older brother. But him and Sydney are like that. So it was cool on Friday. We all just hung around basically at the meet and greet stuff and just were talking and shit like that about wrestling and football and everything. We all got a picture on the last night as well. It was a cool little moment. It was funny just watching him walk around. So many people recognized him too from the wrestling show. So it was funny just seeing people walk up on him and just know who he is as I'm like, dude, you could have literally set up a table up top and started selling gimmicks just to be like, hey, I'm working Starrcast. Like, you could have done that. You might have pissed Matt Cardona off, but you could have done it.
Yeah, Matt Cardona, probably one of my favorite people. I love it. I love this about him. So he signed all day, and he's going out to his car. While he's out in his car, this guy comes up to him and tries to get a pic. He's like, I've been in there for 6 hours. You could have came and got a pic in and just said no thanks and left. And people are like, oh, some people might listen to this and say asshole. But no, you're like, what he did was fair. People have just been paying for 6 hours to meet Matt Cardona.
Yeah, that's unfair to the people who paid. Yeah.
And you're like trying to sneak or trying to end around to get a free meet and greet. Like, no. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he said no. I
am as well.
I was like, good. Because, there were people in there paying.
Yeah, no, good on him.
I got the sneezes for some reason. I gave him to mute, so my apologies. If
you're all good,
yeah, I hear the silence there. I'm pretty sure I'm about to get sick because that's what happens when I'm around that many
That's what
people.
Happens, dude. It happens all the goddamn time.
Yeah, I'm pumping vitamin D. I took my apple cider vinegar. I'm trying to stave it off as much as I can, but I'm almost...
We got to get you some Vernors. That's healing for the soul up here in Michigan.
Yes, I'm almost certain that I'm about to get sick. But, yeah, so I thought that was cool. And I just it's just one of those things that I was like, yeah, that's right. And me, I'm always been, I wish more wrestlers would say no so we could stop this.
Right.
Hey, do I go up to him? No, you don't ever go up to him. No, but, yeah. I loved RJ City. He's like, I want you to, airplane etiquette doesn't work with me because I want you to come up to me and talk to me and you can see how boring I am and then you'll never want to talk to me again.
There you go. That was another, we got to catch up with, our boy Ian Riccaboni too. So that was cool. So
Rickaboner. He is all elite, baby.
Oh, dude, we were talking about how much we loved whenever we heard his voice show up and stuff like that on Dynamite and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, very appreciative of it. And I told him basically, I'm like, bro, like I talked to you about being a wrestling commentator back at All In 2018. And now like I'm working in TV sports and like your guys' work ethic was like one of the drivers of like me getting into the field that I'm in. So I gave him a ton of props for basically being like a huge inspiration for like me being the broadcaster that I am and stuff like that. So he was super nice and super cool.
Because he is super nice and super cool. He can even rap. I know. Y'all got to rap together one of these days. It's got to happen.
We got to.
No, but where were we? What were we talking about now?
We can just go ahead and we can get into, I think we touched on everything from Starrcast. Unless there's anything else you want to hit on.
Let me talk about what I consider the match of the weekend before any of that happens.
Yes, I was going to say, because you did go to Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. We unfortunately missed it because we were fucking exhausted and we didn't have tickets. So you have to talk about the match of the weekend.
Yes, shout out to Bandito and, as made official on Twitter, my new and favorite AEW male singles wrestler, Konosuke Takeshita. Austin has been with me through this journey. January, I think it might have been February, like late January, early February 2022 is the last time I had a favorite wrestler, male wrestler in AEW. I have bounced around a lot about people I'm listening to. I'm pretty sure you can guess who that favorite wrestler was if you wanted to really, really hard, seeing as he's on most of my profile pictures.
Correct.
But I've been like, I was like, maybe it's Ospreay. Maybe it's Swerve. I was there when Swerve won the world title. It was a great moment. Ospreay versus Takeshita at Revolution. Ospreay's basically debut AEW match. I was there for it. I was like, it's one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life. And so I've been going on, and I was like, I had this moment, and I watched it with Bandito. And I like Bandito, but I'm not generally emotionally involved with Bandito does. Them motherfuckers went out there and put on a match for the ROH World title and fucking killed it. Bandito was bleeding through the mask. Takeshita kicked out of the flipping German that he does. I forget what it's called, but he kicked out of it. He hit the Blue Thunder Bomb. He never got to hit his. He never hit the Raging Fire, which definitely is a protected move. But where he was going, they did a reversal of a move. He went for the Raging Fire. Bandito rolled him up. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win and retains the title. I wanted Takeshita to win so bad. That match was so good. How could I stay mad? I will tell anyone. If you have one match outside of All In from this weekend, go to Ring of Honor. Go to watch ROH. Sign in and watch that match. It was a banger. I honestly believe AEW should they've been doing their free ones on their YouTube channel. I think that should be the free one next week. I agree. Do. I think people need to see that match. That's how like amazing that match was. They should give it away for free just so people could see it.
Right.
That's how good it was. And it was unexpected good. It was like, it banged. It was a G1 match. I looked at JR, who was next to me, and J-Ro, and I was like, that was the start of the All In weekend right there. That was the start of All In. That was the unofficial start of All In. Just a banger match on ROH. And I say this, not judging, not disparaging, because I am in complete appreciation of everything AEW and ROH. But because you have two companies, and you have the talent that you have, and you have the talent on your bench, ROH could and should be a show that people are talking about. But I don't feel like it's booked to be a show people are talking about. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, so I'm out there, dude, you're just like, TK, this is what you can do. You just give us Takeshita and Bandito on this pay-per-view that you didn't even say, on this show that was sold out. You didn't even have to sell tickets to. You just gave to the VIPs, and it was crazy. So it was this one crazy thing. There was a mix-up with seats, like where we were standing there and we knew I knew where I picked. I got 1, 2, and then J-Ro came behind and got 3 in the section. So me, JR, and J-Ro could sit next to each other. And we were first row, opposite camera, blah, blah, blah. And then the people behind us got 4, 5, and 6. Well, some guy comes up and he's like 13, 14, 15. And I was like, that's not right. That's 4, 5, and 6. And he's like, well, who told you that? And I was like, I picked the seats out on the map. I know what seats I picked. And it was like, yeah, and there was this big hubbub. We had to stand up and wait. Took about 10 minutes for them to realize they were literally on the wrong side of the row. That's it. It sucked. It sucked because, they want to get that taken care of. But yeah, they were on the wrong side of the row. So we all got sat down, had a great rest of the show. STP, Shane Taylor Productions. I truly think they're like the MVPs of ROH. They're the glue that keeps that motherfucker together. Because they will feud with anybody. They will lose to anybody, but they'll look good doing it. I thought Lee Moriarty and Blue Panther was really good too. But yeah, one match. I'm not hedging. Bandito versus Takeshita. Yeah, that made the whole show an A. One match made the whole show an A.
No, absolutely. It's fire that you got to be there for that match because when I saw the clips of it, I was like, oh, they did it. They did their thing, and I was like, I'll have to go back and watch that again. So, but yeah, that kicked off All In Weekend. Basically, was that match. But we'll go ahead and we'll move in to All In Texas from Globe Life Field.
This venue was fantastic.
Yes,
roof was closed. I want to throw that.
It was closed, which they confirmed on the media call.
Yeah. I still was like, until I walked in and saw it was shut, I didn't believe it.
It's a good thing, too, because it started pouring raining towards the end of the night.
Dude, and I asked this question. All the time. Why would you ever pick a place without a roof?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's weather control. Why would you ever do anything different?
Yeah, last thing you need is a rain delay. We don't need to have Samoa Joe out there in a poncho again.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I was just like, I walk in, it's super comfortable. I see the stage.
Stage was sick.
Yeah, so it's weird, okay? And I want to make sure this is clear. I want to talk about the VIP experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm telling you what happened. This is not a complaint. We get the VIP experience. We get the ringside photo. They say you get the meet and greet. You get the, you get some photo ops while you're there. So
early access to merch and all that.
Yeah, so we're standing out there. We get our merch or whatever. I got the jersey.
Which one? There was the soccer and the baseball.
The baseball jersey.
Okay. And I ordered the baseball one once they put them online because I knew they would.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the soccer one gets on website too because shop.com because that one was sick and they were sold out when I went after them.
Yes. And then I got the zip hoodie. So I was good. Christine had me get 2 of the Okada Omega pictures. So yeah, I'm good with that. So we're sitting there and he's like, okay, so hologram was there and
Frat House was there.
No, Dark Order. I'm just talking about specifically at the beginning.
Oh, the meet and greets, yeah.
So everybody's getting pictures and the dude comes out and says this is not the meet and greet because people are literally posting that the meet and greet is hologram and the Frat House, right? And they're like, yeah, that's all we get for our VIP, right? And he's like, this isn't the meet and greet. And then, of course, Satnam Singh, the Frat House or whatever, and then the Dark Order. So we get those pictures. And they said, no, the meet and greet, and it ends up being Kenny Omega, right? The mic didn't work. They couldn't get the mic working, and Kenny Omega just left. And then they finally get the mic working. Jet Speed comes out. They talk for a long time. And then they go, and then they bring out the Young Bucks, right? So it's a Q&A kind of thing.
I see.
So this is. I don't want this to come off as a complaint. I don't, because fantastic weekend, all-star service from AEW. For the price I paid, you couldn't have asked for too much, a much better experience. But when you hear meet and greet, right? And maybe there was some miscommunication. Maybe it's my fault, and I read the thing wrong, right? And then you hear it's going to be Kenny and the Young Bucks. You think you're going to be able to get pictured with Kenny and the Young Bucks.
Yes.
That never was an option. And the dude screaming that's not to the meet and greet, because I guess people were posting, that basically they thought the meet and greet wasn't up to the par of what they paid, right? And he's like, that's not meet and greet. But then they come out, and none of us have any pictures to post of the Young Bucks, Kenny, or whatever. So I'm just like...
Unless they're on stage, yeah.
So in essence... Those people that you said weren't the meet and greet were the meet and greet.
They were the meet and greets.
Because you couldn't get a picture with them, so they are the meet and greet. So I'm just like, just kind of be clear. And again, I said this before this. When it's VIP like that, right? When people are paying that number, I want it to be, and this is not for me, this talk for everybody else, so they can... They want it for everybody else. Whenever when they do a VIP, because I was very happy with my experience, it should be someone important in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It should be somebody on the show. You know what I mean? Even if it was just like Big Boom, AJ or whatever, or whoever, it should be somebody featured. And I just, that's just my opinion. I don't know how hard that is to facilitate. It might not even be possible. I want to make sure this, because I'm not complaining. This is just facts of what happened. So I don't know. I was just like, the meet and greet and the experience and how that went down, I was less than happy with. Then we went in and got our ringside pictures. That was amazing. Got to sit down. We're at our seats and air conditioning. Because of that, you could go get food before everybody came in. You could do a lot of stuff. So it was a good day. Just like I just want to say that, but I do think they can level up that VIP experience a little bit for other VIPs. Again, one of the best days of my life. I have no complaints. So
yeah, and just be fully upfront what you mean by meet and greet.
Yes,
you got to, when you pay that much, you need to spell it out word for word, bit for bit, exactly what you're going to experience for paying that much, basically. That's just with that price, you got to be upfront with everybody. So, but yeah, you can talk about 0 Hour because I spent the entirety of 0 Hour in a merch line. So I was watching bits and pieces of everything on my phone and on the TVs around the arena. But the 8-man tag match with them, the 2 8-man tag matches and the FTR Outrunners match, I watched that on my phone and on TV. So if you want to go ahead and you want to talk about those matches, because I had to get merch basically that entire time, and the line was insane. Oh, you there, Floyd?
I felt like there was one match worth talking about, and that was FTR and the Outrunners. FTR cheated to win, and it was cool. It was good, but it was just like you could tell it was the pre-show. They didn't really have the whole time to work a match or whatever. It was just...
I did like how they were constantly fiending for the hot tag. Yes. FTR was doing a ton to shut down the Outrunners from trying to get that hot tag. So they really wanted to make it feel like you go and just kind of keep pulling them back. Basically, that was one thing I was a fan of that with.
I don't know how much Raw you watch, but you should be excited. CM Punk just won the gauntlet match to face Gunther for the world title at SummerSlam. I know how excited you are for that. You're heading to New York, right?
I mean, they had to do something with his storyline basically be thrown out because of his dance partner getting hurt on Saturday night's main event. I feel terrible for Seth, dude. I feel so terrible for him.
Absolutely, I do. Seth. I hope we're gonna have to talk about another person soon, but I hope he does heal up. We don't know we don't know what the word on the official injury is. They kind of said it on Raw. They was like, now's not the time to discuss it. So it wasn't. So they haven't really said a full extent of the injury. He is Mr. Money in the Bank, so that's the kind of thing he has to next June to cash it in. So as long as he can get healthy by then. But but that day was really good. There wasn't a lot to talk about as far as the pre-show. I just thought there was a lot of solid matches.
Yeah, like I said, and the 8-man tags were what they were. I always say that AEW does 8-man tags best, but it's still not my preferred match type. Yeah. And also, I don't get the Costco guys. I don't get it. They had a really big line, too, actually, at Starrcast, too. So they were getting tons of support. There was one dude who was taking a picture with the Rizzler, and he had a New York Knicks T-shirt on with Jalen Brunson all over it, and I wanted to punch that dude square in the face.
Yes, I could imagine that because you don't like the Knicks. But, I've never got the Costco guy. My family is a Sam's family, so...
Yes, as are we.
Yes, I'm just
Sam's Clubs all the way.
Let me just say this. Costco has, 7 items? How many TikToks can you do on a 7-item menu? You can get the hot dog, the pizza.
That snacks, yeah.
The hot dog, the pizza, the yogurt, the pretzel, the cookie. I mean, I know it off the top of my head because it's the exact same thing you can get at Sam's.
I will say, though, the image of Big Justice pointing at, I don't even remember who they pointed at, but, him pointing at the other team being like, they're bullying me. He stole my lunch money. Beat him up, Dad. That shit made me laugh so goddamn hard.
That was awesome. And, the match was, it got the audience. The audience was all about it.
There was a lot of boom chants.
Yeah, their audience was into it. There is an audience for them. I am not the audience for them, but I liked how excited the crowd was. So it got me fired up for the show. And then FTR wins, which I like to remind everybody. FTR, undefeated on 2v2 matches on All In. Their only match was in a triple threat match, which, whatever. But 2v2 matches. So Tony Khan, my boy, my wrestling savior, you have over a year, because I believe it's going to be back in September of next year. You have over a year to make sure FTR is in something that matters on All In. Thank you. From the
there you go.
From the peanut gallery, from the guy that's going to be in London. If you just want to give them a great match, that would be amazing. So there you go.
There you go.
And they did announce that they would come out for the tag match later in the night, and that's going to mean something.
They were going to be on commentary. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, last thing I want to say before we get to the matches, I was hearing a lot of people saying that the crowd sounded quiet, which I don't think was the case from the show. Because first of all, I nearly lost my voice by the third or fourth match. Second of all, we were communicating with some of our friends back home. We were like, no, it's loud here. But I feel like the thing with the big stadiums is chants get split up and they're multi-dueling chants and stuff like that as they're trying to get the big ones going. But I don't know. Because I watched it back and I could hear kind of what people were saying, how the crowd sounded quiet at certain points. But I think the crowd was honestly pretty damn good for what it was.
I will say this from the beginning as we get into this all-in review. My experience, Austin's experience, is not going to be your experience. All we can talk about is what we experienced during the show. So if you're well, this was slow or something like that, I get it. That was your experience. I have not watched the show back. I will watch the show back, but it was a 6-hour show.
Yes.
And I haven't played NCAA in almost a week, so that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna even be well, I don't know if I have time. No, I think I'm gonna choose to play my video game I've been without.
Which, by the way, brother, yeah, you're gonna be pissed at me too because I did my Road to Glory and I actually committed to Louisville.
Trash.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Florida State didn't offer me anything, man.
You should have walked on. No, I'm just kidding.
No, and yeah, that's the thing. Louisville let me start because they had a bad quarterback that first year I was there. But you know what? I was able to work my way up to wide receiver 2 pretty quickly my second year.
Okay, that's cool. And but yeah, I'm very excited about playing my game. But all I'm going to talk about is my experience If your experience does not match my experience, I'm sorry. I'm like, again, big time, whatever you want to call this. I was in the first row center. I was going to have a good time. They would have had to put on an all-time bad show for me not to have a good time.
Right.
Austin's been that close. When you're that close, you're kind of a part of the show.
For real. Dude, I saw you so many times, man. I was like, look at the pink lemonade Floyd up in front.
Yes, and and I was vibing, and I was with my wife. So I have, like, the most important person in my world next to me watching my favorite thing in the world. Do you think there was any way I was going to have a bad time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. It's just like, so if anybody's like, oh, he's not critical enough, he's an AEW homer, I'm like, whatever. Whatever.
And I'm going to say, too, because we're also not coming out here and we're being like, man, this show was so great, and NXT Great American Bash sucked, and so did Evolution. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not out here trying to do that.
I can't tell you how any of the other shows weren't. Where? I can't. Haven't watched a second of any of it. It is not like, oh, Floyd's anti-WWE. I just got done with Raw. I watch WWE all the time. So,
as you could tell, too, we had a lot with all the meet and greets and how long this podcast is, and we are only just now getting to the first match of the main card. We did a lot this weekend.
I had a busy weekend. I was with my wife, and you know what my wife didn't want to do when we went back to the hotel? Watch more wrestling.
Especially when you're also celebrating your anniversary.
Yes. So I will probably watch Evolution at some point. The other two, I have been told by hardcore WWE fans they were highly skippable. So I'm going to listen to the experts. But so I just want to let you know, I just want to set the expectation. You're like, oh man, that match was boring. Cool. I'm not disagreeing with you. You can feel whatever way you want to feel about whatever you want to feel about. But I'm about to talk about my experience.
Absolutely.
So
as are we. Yeah,
so let's fucking go. Yeah.
Let's fucking go. We open the show with the AEW World Trios Championship match between the Ops and the Death Riders, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. And this was a fun match. Everyone's breaking off, basically fighting off everybody. I loved when they got Hobbs in there. The meat chants were deafening. Him and Claudio got some great strikes in there. I love how much heat Yuta was getting the entire night. Shibata was putting in some big-time strikes in this match. And, yeah, it was a really strong six-man tag match to open things up. The trios match was good. Surprisingly enough, the Ops actually retained, because I remember we were talking about how the Death Riders were possibly going to win those matches just so that way they didn't all lose this night. But you know what? At the end of the day, though, they did what was more important, which was after the Muscle Buster was hit on Yuta for them to retain the titles, they jumped the Ops, right afterwards, beating up on them, pile drivers, and then they just started getting a steel chair around Joe's neck and stomped on it, basically incapacitating him. They wanted to make sure these guys were not going to try to sabotage the main event and trying to make sure that they were going to keep them out of any chances that they were going to try to come and help Hangman. So, and they walked out and they started like gesturing to the crowd. We were actually right above the area where the people in the crowd, like the wrestlers, when they ran out into the crowd, they walked into the tunnel basically downstairs. We were right above that. So we got to flip off the Death Riders too right there. So that was awesome. So, but it was I think this was also very good to start things off. It was a nice decision to have the Death Riders open the show, as Moxley and the Death Riders were going to close the show as well. So I thought it was a nice little moment too.
Yes. So this part is where I officially knew the end, the main event, how the main event was going to end. The reason I say that is because I'm like, oh, so they just wrote off the Ops. So if you think about in wrestling storytelling logic, they literally made it even seem more impossible that Hangman could win.
Yeah, they were really trying to make sure, Hangman's got nobody left that can help him now.
Yes, his main people that have been there every week on every show, having him back, having his back, the people that Christopher Daniels called in for him, they were there, and they got taken out. They took out the leader. Samoa Joe got stretched out. Will Hobbs and Shibata, of course, if you imagine in the wrestling logic, they got in the ambulance to go see about their boys. So they're gone. They took out the whole crowd. I was like, oh.
They're not at the stadium no more.
Oh, I was like, they're stacking the deck too hard. Okay. All right. So this is when I came in to more of my realization. This was my final acceptance that the main event was going to end the way that it ended.
Which, didn't they, at the VIP thing, like, call you out for being the one guy that was, like, box winning?
Dude, so, no. So they had the group, it was Jet Speed. They called us up, me and this other guy, and I was like, it's not about the nice guy. You want the right guy. And Mox is the right guy that you want running a fight company. Boom.
Yeah.
And
their response to that was like,
oh, boo, shut up. Hey, let me tell you, I wasn't changing anybody in that room's mind.
I didn't think you would.
No, I didn't think I would. They called me up, so I went up. I didn't think I was changing anybody's mind. Oh, dude. So, yeah. So, like, dude, insane how many people were, like, Team Hangman. It was crazy. So,
yeah.
I want to talk about the continued excellent booking of my guy, Will Hobbs.
Yes.
And dude, yeah, he has been, they have found what he is, and it's amazing. If they ever want to push him into a singles title, I think they got it. One tiny suggestion as a fan, just a fan, that he needs to lean into the meat a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's his chant. People love the chant. That's your chant. Every match in the middle of the ring where you're with a guy remotely your size, like it was Claudio, y'all should have did like a 1 to 2 minute just forearm where they could go meat, 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 meat. I am just saying, it's your lottery ticket to the top of any card when people have something they want to chant for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, Bryan Danielson got no over and then got yes over. No, the word no and yes. And he rode that to the main event of WrestleMania. He's still riding that. We're at WrestleMania 40, and that was at WrestleMania 30. He's still riding the yes chant.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, lean into what's working. He's amazing. They're booking him perfectly. Lean into the meat. I just that extra little bit, I think, that will get him where he wants to go.
Yes. We moved then into the men's casino gauntlet. We'll go through real quick. Obviously, Mark Briscoe and MJF opened up the match. The match then proceeded to go Ricochet, then Bandito, then Konosuke, then Mystico, Josh Alexander, Anthony Bowens, Roderick Strong, Brody King, a returning Juice Robinson, which they also, I don't know if you saw this from the LED boards and the entrance ramp, they almost spoiled it because when they were pulling up the clock, they actually pulled up the start of his entrance video. So I was like, that was the beginning of Bullet Club Gold. I was like, are we getting Jay or Juice? It was the first thing that went over my mind. I was like, they might have just almost spoiled that.
Yes,
most people didn't notice, but we did.
The Juice pop was amazing, which even tells you more. This was a super. This wasn't just like a crowd. This is a super AEW fan base crowd.
Oh,
these weren't just people that found tickets or whatever. These were people that came with the intention. Because when Juice Robinson gets this massive radiating ovation, and then the Gun Club gets this massive radio ovation.
So hyped for them, yeah.
Yes, it was like that. That's how you know it's a AEW group. I saw, this is what you see on the floor. I saw Taya Leone or a Khan. I saw them sitting over there getting ready to run in the whole time. It was like,
so you spotted that the whole way through as they were coming in to help out. As they were coming out to help out Ricochet.
Yes, and of course I was hoping to I was hoping to hear one more music. I was hoping to hear one more sound to go with my prediction, and I never heard it.
Yes, they had Anthony Bowens after Josh Alexander, then Roderick Strong, Brody King, and then Juice Robinson.
Did you hear
Kota Ibushi?
Did you hear the Darby chant?
Oh, I heard it. I heard it.
Yeah, like, dude, they wanted Darby in this match. Darby was supposed to be in this match.
Yep.
But he was
I was
not
hyped for Kota being there, Beast Mordos, and then there was a long pause until the final entrant, and everyone was waiting. And it's Max Caster.
Yes.
Fucking, oh my God.
Yeah.
That shit was funny as hell.
And he's super fucking over.
Yes, the chant was loud.
Let's go, Max. He smiled. He every show when people have done it right, he's made a comment. He had no choice but to smile and enjoy it because it was that loud.
Yeah, exactly. One last thing too about Juice coming back. Why is he clean shaven? No.
I only can blame one person.
Tony?
Yeah, the only and this is like with no personal information. This is just massive, reckless speculation. There's only one woman one person in this universe that they can get him to get rid of that magnificent beard, and it has to be.
Yes.
It has to be the timeless one.
Was she that big of a fan of CJ Parker that she wanted to see the clean-shaven look back? Because I was not. I'm okay with, I want my bearded Juice.
I had so many people ask me who that was, even after they announced his name. I was like, yeah, that's Juice. He was Rock Hard, the Wild Man. And they were like, what the hell? Like, what happened to his beard? And it was hilarious.
Yes.
It was hilarious. Yeah, people were affected. So if he wanted to get in, if his goal was to get intention, it worked. It worked like gangbusters. Because everybody was asking that question.
Yeah. I loved this. This match was a ton of fun. Obviously, it was missing a lot of big names that I know a lot of fans were speculating about. They were really going wild with the speculation. Inosuke wrestled his ass off. There was a point where he knee strikes somebody in the chin as they were like falling from the top rope. Like, it was so vicious.
Yeah, because it was a double team move with Josh Alexander, right?
Josh Alexander, exactly. That knee strike was vicious. Dude, I loved how Mystico came out with the entrance theme and they let it play out for the fans to sing. I didn't know the words, but I was like, yes. I was so glad I was in the crowd to experience that because I love that Grand Slam Mexico entrance. So to be in the crowd for him to do that was amazing. And, JR and them, they know the lyrics, especially Mia. She knew the lyrics too.
Who?
I'm sorry. What's
Eva?
Eva. Sorry, I got Mia. I was like, it's not Mia. I know that, but like, I was like, it's a 3-letter name. Jesus Christ, get it in your head.
Yes. Eva knows
she knows the lyrics all the way.
Yes, she knows the song all the way.
Yeah, but match itself was pretty fun. But as Mark Briscoe hits the J Driller on Roderick Strong, MJF comes in, throws him out of the ring, and steals the pin, gets the win over Roddy, and MJF wins the Casino Gauntlet match and gets a future AEW World Title shot. And that makes sense from what we got.
Dude, so again, and we're all wrestling fans, and we have this thing that we want to guess what's going on.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, the Hanger's not leaving with the title tonight. Because he had the briefcase. And I was like, oh, the Hanger's not leaving with this title tonight. My boy's going to cash in. MJF is going to let me leave home happy. We'll talk about
not the
that.
Case.
Well,
not the case.
No, but simple put. Again, we had Nigel last year, and I guess there was no topping that. But I was just like, I would have liked a couple more surprises in it.
Yeah. Juice was cool. Ibushi was cool. The rest was pretty much like, okay, that makes sense.
And you know what? I want to say this. He said on the media call that the people on the show were just going to be basically the people you saw in Dynamite Collision. He basically told you not to expect surprises. But, of course, we're wrestling fans, so.
We think you're working us.
Yeah, we think you're working us. 100%. 100%.
Exactly.
So I was waiting on the surprise. I didn't get one. I worked myself into this one. Yeah, I will tell anybody because he basically said on the media call we weren't going to get a lot of surprises in essence.
Right.
Yeah.
We then get into what was the TNT Championship match, what was going to be Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher. We were in line to meet Marty Brown, and we saw on our phone the Tony Khan going live on Twitter, and that's when he announced that Adam Cole wasn't cleared to wrestle, and he had to vacate the TNT title, and they were turning the TNT Championship match into a four-way for the vacant title with Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Kyle Fletcher, and Daniel Garcia fighting for the belt, the vacant belt. Bro, I was so fucking gutted.
Yeah.
I was absolutely gutted for this being the case because Adam, like, it feels like only yesterday he just came back from that ankle injury. And, you know, him and the Paragon, they've been doing fun stuff, but they haven't really been able to kick into that next gear. Adam won the TNT Championship. It was awesome. He's doing some good stuff on Collision, but for the most part, that's kind of only the place that you've seen him for the most part. And then he has this big, exciting match against Kyle Fletcher, a big moment for what we think is going to be Fletcher winning the title. And Adam can't wrestle. And they actually had him come out before the match, and he talked about basically, I'm sorry I let everybody down, and medical issues have basically, I'm not able to compete tonight, and it's probably going to have me be gone for a little while now. So he's like, I don't even want to think about the word retirement because I'm not in the right headspace right now. But if this is goodbye, I just want to say that you guys are some of the best wrestling fans in the world. He gets incredibly emotional. He's got tears in his eyes. And he talked about basically, since I was 9 years old, I dreamed of being a professional wrestler. You made that dream come true through multiple promotions. You have no idea how much that meant to me. And through my highest moments and recently my lowest moments, you've been so supportive. And damn it, I will love you forever. He thanked AEW. He talked about how we're going to be excited for this championship match and how AEW is doing great stuff and said, thank you for changing my life. I will love you always. Paragon comes in and they start hugging him and it's super emotional. He does one last Adam Cole baby. Roddy's got tears in his eyes as it's happening, and he goes up to the ramp and goes boom one more time. Daniel Garcia comes out. They hug at the top of the ramp, and then we got into the TNT Championship match. But man, that fucking sucks. I'm hopeful that this isn't it, but I mean, we got confirmation basically. I think it was Fightful that said that it was concussion issues and symptoms that basically morning of, he was not feeling good. He was feeling sick, had those symptoms, and TK was the one that was like, I'm not clearing you. Like, you need to get checked out. You need to make sure you're okay, and made the call there. Obviously, he did just come back from that that fused ankle surgery, and now he's got these issues, and he's had concussion issues, I know, in the past before. Like I said, you don't want to think it's retirement. If that was it, Adam is so fucking amazing. I was there at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 when he debuted in NXT. He's literally, there's very few wrestlers in the industry where not a single person has anything bad to say about him, and he's one of them. Like, when that announcement happened and he had his speech, wrestlers across multiple promotions were sharing great pictures and memories and stories with Adam and stuff like that. And you hate it for the guy because he's such a gentle soul and he's such a light. And man, I hope this isn't it. I really, really hope he's okay and he's able to heal up and wrestle a little bit more because, man, Adam Cole is still like one of the best professional wrestlers out there. And I'm just hopeful that he's okay. But if it is it, man, Adam, like, thank you so much for everything you've done. Like, we appreciate your work and your effort that you put in. Because, man, to be able to say that I was at his debut for two different wrestling companies, because All Out 2021 when he debuted at AEW, that was insane too. So I hope this isn't it for him.
I completely agree. I like Adam Cole. You know, Black and Gold NXT. I thought he was the MVP of that show at that time. So don't get me wrong. I just think the man's amazing. Yeah, and it's funny because this comes from the real sports side of things. Sometimes like the football, basketball. Sometimes your body doesn't. Your body just doesn't. What is it? Get along, do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't agree.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just want to be healthy. I'm very big on that. I want to be healthy, live a regular, life. If that includes wrestling and continue wrestling, hell yeah. Come on back. Do your thing. Be Adam Cole, baby. If that's not it, I just hope you have a good life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If that's working in the back, if it's doing the video game, whatever that is, I want you to have a successful, healthy life because, that's what matters in the end. You've had a great career. I mean, by no means should it be over. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you've had a great career. You've had a long career. You've done a lot of cool shit. So enjoy what has happened. Work hard. Do what the doctors say, and hopefully you can get back.
For sure. So getting into the four-way then, this was one that it felt like a lot of people felt like kind of weird going into this because obviously they were just still so heartbroken for Adam. They were rooting for everybody. Man, people don't like Sammy still. They still don't like Sammy. It's crazy how much people just don't fuck with dude, which is a shame because I like Sammy a lot. But people don't fuck with dude. And it's and I think that worked towards the end of the match of like the kind of dissension with the Sons of Texas and all that kind of stuff. That worked to its favor. But I was like, man, people really don't like dude.
Yes, and that's the whole thing. When people don't like you, that's the best position to be in. That's the best time to be a heel. You don't even have to do any work. They already hate you. So
right.
I think the eventual Sammy on Dustin turn is coming, and it's going to be so natural because people already hate Sammy.
Exactly, and it'll lead to some great stuff. I love how Fletcher was able to work in this match. People were really rooting for him and his big moment, but it went a completely different way. And what was a surprising moment was towards the end. Basically, a Dragon Tamer was hit on Dustin Rhodes, and he was in the submission. But eventually, though, he's able to reverse it into a small package, and Sammy's not able to get in the ring to break it in time. And Dustin Rhodes is your new TNT champion. Everyone was stunned. Nobody had Dustin winning this match.
That is correct.
Nobody had Dustin winning it. And like he gets into the corner immediately after he wins it, and he just starts bawling. He's blubbering and like he can't keep his emotions together as the championship is being presented in front of him. I started losing my mind for dude because I was so happy for Dustin. There were a couple shitheads around me that were like, this is bullshit because they had it at Fletcher being the guy and that was it and that was all that it could be. I was like, nah, fuck that. Fletcher winning it this way is not the right way. He will be able to get this championship again at some time in the future. This is probably Dustin's only chance. He's had multiple TNT championship matches, never won a single one of them. He hasn't won a singles title match in decades. So I don't care what anybody says if they were upset by this. I'm so fucking happy for Dustin. Having the Rhodes brothers and the Von Erichs come out afterwards as well for this was amazing. I'm just happy for dude. Dustin is a gentle soul and such a cool guy. He's rode for AEW this entire time. And now he's holding the same championship that his brother won for the first time and made famous. Like, come on. Like, let's be real. You can't hate that. That's just cool. That's really, really cool for Dustin. And I think leading into a possible Sammy heel turn for that feud would be great to get a blood feud kind of thing that Dustin could absolutely inject some heart into and some character into, and Sammy can be just despicable with. I think that could make the TNT Championship exciting for that match. And it doesn't even have to be a long title reign for Dustin, because I think, again, Fletcher will be champion at some point. It's going to happen. They're riding hard for dude. But this was Dustin's moment. He was never going to get another moment like this again in his career. And for him to have this so late in his career, like, I'm just happy for dude.
Yeah, in a way, I'm happy. In a way, I'm happy. I thought it was, I will tell you, Tony Khan fed Texas. He fed the shit out of Texas in this show. He made sure Texas was ate well and had plenty to cheer. So I think that was a great call. Do I want a 56-year-old wearing basically your championship that is supposed to be getting your younger guys over? Not really.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be a long reign. Everyone knows he's going to be a transitional guy, but, like, come on.
It was a good moment. I just, like, I saw 3 other guys, and I was like,
sure.
Any of those 3 other guys.
Well, 2 of them have held the belt before, and one of them was considered to be the guy who was going to win it, and he could absolutely win it, like, in a couple months' time.
No, like, I want him to crush Dustin on a collision, like, just beat the crap out of him on a collision. I mean, that's the way to do it. Kyle Fletcher's not a good guy, so
yeah, absolutely.
You definitely have a sympathetic baby face here, so don't get me wrong. I get it. It was just like, okay, it's like, it seems like Sammy is being used more in the good graces. I was like, man, this is great. Only thing I liked is how it's kind of set up the heel turn. I don't like that Dustin has 3 belts.
That is true. But, like, again, like,
I just think in a company,
I think people forget that he even has the Ring of Honor belts.
Well, of course I don't. But
I know you're a sicko like I am, but, like,
yes, when you're in a company and it's like you got all this talent and one guy has 3 of your titles, like, that's a lot. That's heavy. And it's just like, but it's a perfect reason for Sammy to turn heel on him. He's like, hey, you already had 2 belts. You couldn't let me win 1? Yeah. That's a perfect heel reason for Sammy.
Sure.
Sammy to turn on him. So,
and Sammy could cost him in a match with Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. Let me say this. Moments. They fed Texas. The crowd went crazy. Dustin had his moment. He'll never forget it. Might be his last big-time moment of his career. I'm not saying he's retiring anytime soon, but I'm just saying he'll probably take a lesser role when it comes to wrestling. So it's probably his last big moment. I am happy for Dustin. Even though I would want something else to happen, it doesn't take thing away from my happiness from Dustin, because he's always nice. He's AEW through and through. He's never really tried to go anywhere else. This is where he said he was helping build, and he works with the women a lot. I don't know if he still does that, but I remember that he always worked with the women a lot. So let's go. Hey, reward loyalty. There's nothing wrong with reward and loyalty.
Yeah, and again, it's for for one night. I think the TNT Championship will be in good hands moving forward, though. So, past Dustin's reign, we move in next to the tag match between Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay and the Young Bucks. EVP titles are on the line. Young Bucks will lose their quote-unquote power if they lose this match, and if Swerve and Ospreay lose, they cannot challenge for the world title for a year. How everyone knew how I was going into this match. With the most pessimistic mindset ever. I was like, the Bucks are winning. They're going to beat the 2 top baby faces in the company, and I'm going to be fucking pissed.
And I would have been okay with that, because real tag teams should always beat fake tag teams. Always. Yep.
I get it.
Always.
But 2 things. 1, Ospreay's fucking Assassin's Creed entrance, great. At this point, put him in a fucking game. Like, there should just be a Assassin's Creed London or an Assassin's Creed Essex, and you should just have Ospreay be the main character.
And you should do the mocap for it. Absolutely.
Yes. Put him in the fucking game, Ubisoft. You're already doing all these legitimate crossovers and partnerships with dude. Put him in the fucking game. I want to play an Assassin's Creed game and play as Will Ospreay. Just do it.
Do it. I would buy that game. Someone that doesn't buy those type of games, I would absolutely buy that game. So, do it.
But his entrance was great. Swerve's was awesome, too, with them bringing out JoJo. And I honestly, I from my back seat, I couldn't tell who it was. I recognized the song, but I was like, that's not the original singer. So I was like trying to recognize who that was.
No, it was not Shaka Khan. It was
it was not Shaka Khan. No. It was not Shaka Khan. No, but I was like, who the fuck is up there? I just couldn't see from where I was. Eventually, I found out that it was JoJo, and then I realized the Fireflies in the background. Oh my god! It all clicked then, and I was like, that's really cool.
I didn't know it was really JoJo until I got home and watched the video over replay. So you were ahead of me.
Yeah, once I figured it out from that, and I was like, okay, that's really fucking cool. And then Swerve comes out. It's awesome. And then the Young Bucks. Dude. I didn't know there was a way for you to make an entrance longer than Goldberg and Undertaker combined.
This was the greatest entrance.
I was dying in my seat.
Oh, God. This was the greatest entrance in the history of entrances. That entrance. Hey, greatest entrance ever. They went full off. To me, a lot of times with wrestling and people are playing these characters, they don't commit to the bit all the way.
Right. No, they went all the way with it. Yes.
Dude, I was like, dude, Starrcast, offer rides on that boat. I was like, dude, this is amazing. I'm trying to videotape it because my friend Laura is a massive Young Bucks fan, and I was trying to get as much as it for her because it's cool. And I thought they were going to walk past me, but they came on the other side. Yeah. Dude, I was completely into this. I was like, okay, the Young Bucks got to win.
I love the fact that there were more people around me that were just as pissed as me. I knew it did its job, and it doesn't mean I was happy about it. But because I was also going like, man, everyone hates Def Rebel, but this is the worst theme in music, in wrestling. This is the worst theme in wrestling history. Like, everyone hates on Def Rebel, but this is the shit that sucks. But no, it got the great reaction out of it. I was hearing somebody screaming like, you're wasting our time, like fucking wrestle. It was great, like that way. But like, holy shit, I was just melting in my seat. I was so furious. And then again, they do what they do. The bell rings, and then I don't care because Young Bucks wrestle their ass off. That's that segment that everyone's been sharing. That sequence of moves of them just going at 110 miles an hour, move after move after move, and then it finished with the Canadian Destroyer, the double Canadian Destroyers, and then the double elbow strikes from Swerve and Ospreay. So fucking good. So incredibly exciting. So much fun. And like, it was my favorite match of the night, and then I rewatched the show, and then I think it switched for me from rewatching it. But in the moment, I was like, match of the night. It was so fucking good. False finishes were great, the way they were doing all the moves, and just like, I mean, Bucks were literally just spamming moves on Ospreay, and I was like, Jesus Christ, they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at dude, and then he still kicks out. I was like, what the fuck? But eventually, he gets out of the TK driver and kicks out of that. Swerve gets in the way of a super kick party and takes the shot himself. And as he takes the super kick, he's just like he's not giving a fuck. Catches the EVP trigger, hits the backslide into the tombstone. Then Ospreay, they hit the Swerve Stomp assisted tombstone. Matt kicks out, but then they all set up for the the house call hidden blade combo. And then they win it. Young Bucks are no longer EVPs of AEW. Ospreay, and it's on AEW's website. They're listed as EVPs for the time being, until they eventually dissolve those titles. But yeah, the Swerve and Ospreay won. I did not see that coming. I genuinely was like, there's no way Young Bucks don't win this match. There's no fucking way. Because then it sets up for Ospreay and Swerve to feud with each other while they can't challenge for the world title. And then Ospreay is going to be able to come out for All in London in 2026. And then he's going to win the title in London. And it's going to be huge. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, that is a move I was not expecting. So, but the match was spectacular. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
This was my match of the night. This is one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen. When it comes to rewatch of All In, this is the match I'm going to rewatch. Young Bucks are amazing, but I mean, let's be real. The two greatest tag team matches that they've ever had were one with Hangman and Omega. The other is with Ospreay and Swerve. I mean, they didn't have to do the heavy lifting.
They did not. No, they did not. No. And yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, fucking Meltzer said that was number 2 to that match. Yeah.
So I'm like, you're talking about they've been in tag matches with 4 generational talents. Yes, the match is going to be good. This match was amazing. Shout out to the Young Bucks, dude. When they want to put somebody over, they do it fucking spectacularly.
Yeah.
You know, like this was amazing. Swerve and Ospreay took all their shots. That point where Ospreay's done and Swerve just gets in the way from him, and I'm like, dude, like true emotion coming out of me. True emotion coming out of me. It was just great. And then when they did their comeback, it was like, oh, they're gonna do it, and then they did it. If you remember on the previous show, I called Swerve and Ospreay. Even though I wanted the Bucks to win because of tag teams, I thought Swerve and Ospreay was going to win. I thought the whole them not challenging was kind of a red herring to make you believe that they could lose, and it turned out that was the case.
Yeah,
yeah. The EVP thing has been a weight on AEW, like almost bringing the show down. To get the show back to where it's supposed to be, they needed to get rid of it, and it's gone now.
Yes. Yeah, so then we move into the Women's Casino Gauntlet match. First of all, great match to choose to follow up insane tag match, because I was like, who the hell is going to follow that? And then you go the Gauntlet match where people can count down and guess who's going to be next in the match itself. Really, really great decision to have that match go next. The order, obviously, Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne opened things up. Then it was Willow Nightingale, Ty Mello, Tekla, Julia Hart, Queen Aminata, Mina Shirakawa, Athena, Thunder Rosa, and then we have the 2 big debuts / returns, Shuri and Alex Windsor as like the surprise entrance, basically. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed just the actual work of the match itself. It felt like everyone was able to do some really cool stuff in this match. I loved Chris Statlander and Willow's interactions with each other, basically. And of course, there's a moment where Penelope Ford and Megan is interfering from the side, messing up Ty Mello, and Anna Jay, and there's just some distractions on the outside. But eventually, Penelope Ford's getting grabbed by her ankle, and who is it? It's a masked, not a Harley Graham, but still it's a masked Harley Cameron returning with a face mask, a cat face mask from her broken nose, and she chases them off, basically helping clearing the way for the new entrance. I lost my fucking mind. I'm like, Harley, oh my God. I was so hyped, and it was even bigger because going into the show, Starrcast basically said they were going to have 2 surprise meet and greets you could pay for to get after All In at the hotel. 1 female, 1 male. Harley ended up being the female meet and greet for the surprise meet and greet, and I was so fucking excited. I was so happy. I was like, finally, I get my picture with her. I'm like, let's fucking go. I knew people were pissed because they were like, you want to pay us to pay this much for Harley Cameron? I'm like, bitch, I'd pay $1,000. Fuck you.
I thought the meet and greets were very reasonable. My big thing is they were so low, I knew it was going to be any big name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be like a mid name, and I was like, cool. And, there was the name that I wanted. And I got to say, I just, again, I disappointed myself hoping that I heard DMD.
I know.
I'm done.
At this point, man, it's like, we just can't.
I'm not, like, I love Britt. I have communicated that on this show as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm just banging my head up against a brick wall now, though.
Yeah, it's just at this point, we just can't.
Like, I can want Britt all I want. If TK ain't booking her, there's nothing to be done. And, again, it's his decision. I have no, hey, it's his decision. I'm not happy with it. I'm actually very disappointed in it.
As am I, yeah.
But, there are several other women on the roster. I all like them. I appreciate them, Willow being my favorite. And I could put all my energy as a fan into saying, bring back. Or I could be a good fan and root for the people that they're actually using, which, again, love Britt. This is taking nothing away from Britt Baker. I want her back. But it's just, like I said, I'm banging my head against a brick wall, against nothing right now. She'll come back when she comes back. And when she comes back, I'll root for her. If she doesn't come back, I understand. I've had to deal with it with other wrestlers in the company. I think it'll be a huge loss. But apparently I'm the only one that seems to think it'll be a huge loss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Me and my boy Chris. We're the only ones that'll think that it'll be a huge loss because she keeps not being booked. Because you know what? This match is the perfect match to do it. She didn't have to win. She had to do it. She comes in, gets her hot spot. You put it on the outside of the ring. Somebody else gets pinned. Whatever. You could do that. Her and Deanna. You could have had them both in it, and it wouldn't have changed anything, but it would have gave a nice pop for the crowd. You didn't want to do it. So obviously, right now, she's on the bench. She's on the deep bench. I think she's on the bench somewhere in the attic, in the other ground that you can't get to. No cell phone coverage. Can't call her. Can't text her. So only thing I can do as a fan, because I have no power, is to move on.
Yeah, pretty much. But the match itself was a lot of fun. Shuri and Alex Windsor getting some spots in there was really cool. I loved Mina and Shuri doing a face-off, which was awesome. But as things go on, there's a great powerbomb off the apron from Statlander on Megan Bayne. And then in the final moments, we have Shirakawa hitting a sling blade and then a roundhouse kick. Got the figure four on, but then Athena came in, hit the O-face, and pinned Mina Shirakawa. And there's our girl, Athena. She is, once again, another Texas girl. And she is now the winner of the Casino Gauntlet match. And she gets an AEW Women's World Championship match in the future. So the forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion now could become a champion in AEW. Yes.
So if there is one woman in professional wrestling that can challenge Willow as number one in my heart, it is the Minion Overlord. It is the one and only Athena. So in this moment when she won, again, what did they do? They fed Texas. This is a Dallas, Texas native. She wins her match at ROH. Then wins the Battle Royal the next day. Feeding Texas. Shout out. Tony Khan taking care of the crowd. This was to me, it was the right decision. And it was a great moment for Texas. Which is like, again, wrapping that all up. Perfect decision here. I did want to point out, I fucking love Queen Aminata and Thekla's energy together. Everybody says when somebody has a lot of chemistry, best of 7 series. I'm not going to say best of 7 series, but I definitely want to see them wrestle more than once. They have amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to that was the one thing I wanted to shout out from the actual match is that, amazing chemistry there.
Oh, yeah. We then move into the World Tag Team Championships 3-way. Hurt Syndicate, Jet Speed, and the Patriarchy. I cannot fucking believe that the Hurt Syndicate brought out West Side Gun, first of all. That was surprising as shit. But, yeah, this was a fun match, too. I loved how Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey got some fun stuff in there. Hurt Syndicate was just throwing motherfuckers, man. They showed their strength in this one, too. They were just throwing motherfuckers.
So this was one of my favorite matches because of what happened on the outside of the ring. So first of all, everybody knows about my lack of affinity for Mr. Speedball Mike Bailey. I don't know if you saw this. Guess who got through and beat up right in front of me?
Right in front of you. I'm like, yes. Floyd is enjoying himself so goddamn hard because Speedball getting the shit kicked out of him.
I don't know if you saw my lips moving. I said, good. You deserve this ass whooping.
Yes.
I said, then I looked at Bobby Lashley. We looked eye to eye, and I said, light work. And he gave me the nod. I was like, light work. I was like, beat him up some more. And when he did it again, that was us screaming, do it again. When he threw him up against the curb. So my Speedball, Speed Dork, Mike Bailey, I got to see beat up right in front of me. And then Kevin Knight gets thrown up. And I said, what do you think about the Thunder now? Yeah, I was talking shit. Because he came in my city. So, I forgave him. But then I saw him beat up. So I was like, whatever. And then there was this guy back, and he just kept yelling at MJF. So this guy decided he was going to chant whatever he could to get attention. He was one of those guys. He was a champ. So he was like, we heard people, this is like, MJF, pull up your pants. But I was like, so are you going for them or do you hate them? I don't know which one. It's very confusing. And at some point, he said, MJF, put on some pants. MJF said, you love my Winnie the Pooh looking ass. So, because he was wearing a red shirt and, you couldn't, like pants like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was funny. Then he told him, MVP told the same guy, your mother. He's like, my mother died. She's like, she died disappointed in you.
Damn.
Kill you. This dude's like, there's stuff that they was coming up. Like, I can't even remember it all. They're just so amazing at it. And he said he caught Mike Bailey throwing those broke-ass taekwondo kicks. MJF says, I got a black belt in jiu-jitsu, emphasis on the Jew. I was just like, they were doing this the whole match. Like, I am not doing the one-liners and the cutting justice because I'm just trying to remember it. But because it was all happening in the moment, but they were fucking killing this dude. And the problem was, what they didn't understand is the more they said to him, the more he was going to keep talking. He loved the attention.
He wanted more of it.
So he was distracting from the match because he wouldn't shut the fuck up. And what he was yelling had nothing to do with the match.
Right.
So, yeah. You will hear about this guy later on in the show. But, yeah, he was very annoying. So we get to that point where, we're getting towards the end with, the Dax situation. So if you want to start from there or whatever.
Yeah. Well, first of all, too, I will say we had one fan who I believe was a New Japan-aholic because he had a Wrestle Kingdom 11 t-shirt, actually. So first of all, when Coda came out, like, he was like, for the men's gauntlet, he was like, Coda! And, like, when later on for fucking Kenny and Okada, he just go, crazy about time. This dude, I was like, I swear to God, he was going to lose his voice. And then when MJF ended up winning the gauntlet, he got so pissed off. He's like, fuck you. And then, like, left for a moment. And, like, everyone around just started laughing their asses off. I was like, oh, he big mad. Like,
so when did he leave?
When MJF won the gauntlet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just said, fuck you, and left?
Yeah, and then came back, like, a few minutes later. But I was like, what the fuck? Dude was, like, absolutely, like, having an out-of-body experience. And also was, like, every time they were doing the trading shots, like, spot, he would, like, chop his own chest and do elbow strikes, like, himself, like he was hitting them. I'm like, this dude's got something in his head. Like, he kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, we had this dude 3 or 4 rows back to my left, and he would try to start a chant, but he would do po-farda chants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I was in it, like, I knew how much these people paid to be in these seats.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, so you get to do what you want.
You should have heard. Yeah, you should have heard the dumb. You should have heard the dumb shit I was chanting and shit like that. Like, I remember when fucking the Young Bucks were doing their entrance. I think I shouted out, "I wish the British had won."
Yes, I love it. Hey, see, I love Spike.
I was doing the ones that was like, I'm trying to basically be like a stand-up comedian almost.
But I will say this, and I want to make sure, yours had something to do with the match.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, that's all I want. Like, if you're going to yell, just yell at the match. Yell at the wrestlers or whatever that's in the match and make it about the show. I don't care what you yell. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit, I'm an adult. Yell what you want. Just make it about what we're actually watching, not trying to get yourself over.
Exactly. So, anyway, as the match goes on, though, FTR, they shove Christian Cage basically right into FTR, and they were getting knocked over a bunch of times in this match too when they got pushed out into at ringside. But eventually, Bobby Lashley comes in. He spears Christian Cage after shoving him directly into FTR. He pins him after spearing him, and then they're pissed off. FTR, they come in after the match. They're still messed up about being in the crossfire. Christian was just basically being like, fuck off. Like, we're just going to leave. Like, we don't need to deal with you. But Nick Wayne all of a sudden turns on his mentor, turns on his father, turns on his daddy, and hits the unprettier and turns on Christian Cage. FTR kind of stands there for a moment, but then they nod and go for him. And then basically they grab some steel chairs. They're setting up for the concerto. And then here comes Cope. Here comes Adam Copeland. Crowd goes crazy. Everyone's singing. Pyro's insane, which also I will say people were laughing about the fact it's like, hey, fucking Rhea Ripley, hey, Jeff Hardy, hey, all those guys that would do your entrances before you came in for the save, sit down. Fucking Adam Copeland needs to come in and do his pose with his pyro before he comes and saves Christian from getting his head caved in. Like, all Nick Wayne had to do was swing the chair while during the pyro, and then all of a sudden it would have been for naught.
I felt like it would have been more impactful. It would have been more impactful if they had went ahead and hit Christian with it. And maybe it'd been setting up to hit him again when Cope come out, but Cope couldn't get his line in if they did it that way. Exactly.
But he has Spike in his hand. He spears FTR. He double spears FTR. Chases out Nick Wayne and them. He has Spike in his hand as Christian's kind of looking up towards him a little terrified. But he throws Spike to the side. He picks up Christian, and he just looks at him and he goes, "Go find yourself," and then leaves.
Yeah.
And teasing the reunion of Edge and Christian.
So immediately at this moment, I'm pretty locked into the show. I go on American Airlines and start looking at flights from Oklahoma City to Toronto on September 20th. You know what? I'm just a fan. I don't have any inside information. I don't really talk to anybody about what's going on. Even if I get the opportunity to talk to anybody from AEW, I very rarely talk about wrestling because I don't, again, I watch the show every week, knowing everything that's going to happen, whether they would tell me or not. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say anything, but I've never asked because I watch the show every week. I don't know how many of y'all watch like Love Island or like murder mystery shows where the results of each episode lead to the next episode, and that gets you excitement. Well, what if someone say, hey, this person win Love Island at the end or lose it or whatever, and this is how the finale goes? Would you want to watch Love Island anymore?
Right.
Because the whole purpose is that people getting eliminated and getting it. Well, to me, the whole purpose of wrestling is watching the story unfold. And it's guessing, and it's having fun and doing reckless speculation. But if you know, there's no fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't enjoy it. So I don't ever want to know. But in this moment, fucking All Out's in Toronto. Cope and Christian just tease getting back.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not doing Cope and Christian versus FTR in Toronto, I just don't understand professional wrestling.
Right.
And that's, like I said, that's no spoiler. That's no inside information. They just told you the match right there. And did you read it any other way? Austin?
No.
That's the match we're getting in Toronto. So
Yeah.
I immediately started looking for flights, looking for tickets. My first Canadian show may very well be a dream match. And honestly can't even, like, it's a dream match as of when did Cope come back to AEW? Because you like, it wasn't a dream match before then because I thought Cope was always going to be in WWE. Christian was going to be in AEW until he retired. This wasn't a thought, but this is just something that came back a few years ago that could actually happen. So, Christian and Cope versus FTR. Yeah, I am I'm fucking down. You know?
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me. And I know we're jumping ahead. We're doing All In right now.
Oh, I know.
But this was like the moment, like for me as a person that had his idea of what he wanted the main event to be and knew it wasn't happening, this was the moment of the show for me. Because, yeah, they told me what's coming. And all I care about when it comes to FTR and wrestling, I don't really care if they win every match. I don't care. I only want them in stuff that matters. If anyone has ever heard me, I have been consistent since you've known me with that statement. I don't need them to win every time. I don't need them to be the tag team champions like for 6 years. That's all, neither here nor there. I just want them to be in storylines that matter.
Right.
This is a storyline that matters. And if we get it, I'm excited.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, I'd be hype as shit for that as well.
Yeah, and I will be there, and I am very much talking to my girl Jackie about being there with me, because to see our boys in that big of a match would mean a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We move in next to the first of the triple main events. Opening up with the triple main events, the AEW Women's World Championship match between Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. First of all, Floyd, you were right. No, like at this point, who the hell knows if we're gonna get a women's main event for an AEW pay-per-view, because this didn't do it.
Oh,
so like
no, unless TK decides to do an all-women's show, the women are never main eventing.
For real, honestly.
I mean, prove me wrong. I am happy to be proven wrong in this situation. I want you to be like, shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about. Boom, main event of a pay-per-view. But this is the biggest match in AEW women's history. And it went on third to last. It didn't go second to last. It went on third to last. Triple main event to try to, the glad hand you. But really, we know it's not a triple main event.
I know.
Yeah, so, whatever.
But, yeah. Entrances were spectacular. Crowd was excited. Everyone was basically the pageantry of it. I love Toni taunting Mercedes with her dance, and then Mercedes responding by doing her little dance, her little like flailing on the mat and stuff like that. It was really, really good stuff. Great moment where she buckle bombs Toni into the wall and stuff like that. Yeah, I loved how they were basically transitioning into like fighting for that Monet Maker, and then also turned it into an STF. There was just some really good moves in this match. Everyone was really, really excited for it. And it was just really, really great seeing Mercedes also like busted open and just fighting back and all this type of stuff. There was a moment where Mercedes was held up in a tombstone, and I didn't see this until watching it back, but she bit her in the no-no zone while she had her positioned for the tombstone. I can't believe she did that. I just can't believe she did that. Like, Booker T, tell me she did not just do that. Like, holy shit.
I want to be real. There are some people that were like, oh my God, kids. I was like, okay. I want to say
Tony,
this.
like, do you know what the main event of this show is?
Yes. I want to say, with all due respect, get the fuck over yourself.
Yes, please.
I mean, this is wrestling. She did something. This is the kind of stuff, the fan base loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, but if you got a problem with it, I don't care. It's
not real.
Like, I just don't. I don't care if you have a problem with it.
For real. There were 3 straight Storm Zeros on Mercedes, and she kicked out. I couldn't believe that kick out.
I was pretty sure
I
at
thought
that
was
point
it.
Mercedes was going to win. In my mind.
That's what I thought.
Yes, at that point.
Everyone was in doubt of who the fuck was going to win this match. I feel like after that moment.
Yeah.
And I think was Tony the first person to kick out of the Monet Maker? I think she might have been.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
The straight kick out of Monet Maker. Yeah, she was the first.
Yeah. That was crazy. Tony sets up Mercedes on the top rope. She's up there, and then Tony just grabs her across the face and makes out with her, and then grabs her, hits a Storm Zero from the middle rope, and she wins and retains the championship, and a huge victory for her. This match was awesome. It was really, really great. They did their damn thing on this. I know, like, there was, with the 3 main events, there was a lot to be fighting for your attention for, like, what you were going to be excited for. They killed it with this match, honestly. I thought it was really great.
They really did. I completely agree with you. They dominated. They kicked ass. If you're saying, if you're looking at straight women's wrestling match of the year, like where it's just 1, 2, 3 to the winner, I think right now this would be it. If it wasn't for the Hollywood ending, this would probably be my match.
Exactly.
So when you look at the end of the year polls, both of these matches will be on there. So you'll get to decide which one was better. But this match was fucking amazing. Mercedes, again, when she's an awesome seller. She's just so good at making everything look like it matters.
Oh, yeah.
She put Tony over amazingly. And I just love this match so much. And I thought they did an excellent job. And, I would have been very happy, very okay, very everything with this being the main event if it was. But what they did, after watching it, what was the main event could only be the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we move in now to the Unified Championship match between the Continental Champion, Kazuchika Okada, and the International Champion, Kenny Omega. Omega Okada 5. Possibly the final time we were going to see these two in a singles match. First time we were seeing them wrestle in America. It was a dream match that we were all hoping that we could be in attendance for, like outside of Japan. The hype was so real. Crowd was going berserk from the moment the bell rang. They went crazy for a lockup. The hype was so real. I was so excited. The Okada-Omega series of matches are like some of the big matches that got me into the Elite and New Japan and all that kind of stuff. It was really good. Never got into that second gear, it felt like. It felt like both guys wanted to keep it up and wanted to just like kick it up a notch, but just couldn't. Especially Kenny, it felt like it may have been like just like, just not able to just keep it going to the level that he wanted to. Match was still really, really good. I had to remind myself, like, hey, Austin, just so you know, like, Wrestle Kingdom 11 is almost 10 years old. That first Omega Okada match is almost 10 years old. Like, it's crazy how long all these guys have been going. But, yeah. I heard somebody say that it reminded them a lot of AJ versus Shinsuke at Mania 34, where, like, the match had all the hype of the world and just was... It didn't live up exactly to the hype that people wanted. It was still really good, but it wasn't exactly what everybody wanted. But that was different because it was wrestled in the WWE style. This was just because I feel like they just couldn't do it to the level that they wanted to. I like Don Callis' involvement. It got the heat that it was looking for. It didn't cost the match or anything like that. Like, it still was really, really good. I love the moment where Kenny was able to hold him up in the electric chair and then move him over into the German position and then just slam him down on his back. I love how each guy knew like moments in their arsenal where they could counter and stuff like that to show their familiarity. Yeah, I mean, like it never was gonna top the main trilogy or even Okada Omega 4 from Dominion 2019. I think 2018. But either way, I was still so happy that I got to be in person for this match. Okada got the victory with another last Rainmaker to become the inaugural Unified Champion. It definitely wasn't like exactly what you wanted, but it was still damn good, and I'm still so grateful I got to see this match.
Okay, so this match comes out. I've talked about what this match has meant to me. I put the phone down. I didn't take pictures or nothing. I put the phone in my bag and hooked it up to the charger, and I was just like, I wanted to live in this moment. And I watched the match, and I enjoyed the match. I didn't enjoy it, unfortunately, on the level that I enjoyed the other matches. But
Right.
You're talking about all-time great matches. This is an all-time great match series. This is 10 plus years later. This is in America. And I truly think they gave what they believed was the American version of their match, right? They knew they couldn't top what they did 10 years ago, so they didn't try. They's like, we're going to give American. They had the run-ins, all that stuff, which really wasn't a part of this series. Like, interference wasn't a part of the series. So they did that. They had the Rocky and all that stuff. And I think that what they were trying to tell is that Okada knew he couldn't be Kenny right now. And that he had to cheat. And this is American storytelling and wrestling. And unfortunately, you got the guys, one guy behind me screaming, fuck Don Callis, like this match is starting. It's Kazuchika Okada. It's Kenny Omega. This is the match most people have been waiting. And you choose this time to yell, fuck Don Callis. And he yelled it the whole match. And I just didn't understand it. Don Callis wasn't even in the match. He wasn't involved in the match. He was just all right. And this dude just wanted a chant so bad that he was just screaming, fuck Don Callis. And it was so annoying I wanted to punch him in the face. How annoying do you have to be to get me there, Austin?
Right.
I know. I wanted to turn around just like, shut the fuck up. This isn't the place for this. And then you got one guy in the back, again, second row, screaming, Okada wants sushi. And we just yell at him for being fucking racist. And you know what? In this point, I was like, we didn't deserve Kenny Omega and Okada the way it was. This American knuckle-dragging, uneducated, did not deserve Okada and Omega in its original Japanese form. Because that dude pissed me off that much.
Yeah, for real.
But I watched that match. It was a good match. I honestly think if it wasn't for the expectations, somebody might even call it a great match. But of course, you're coming in there wrestling against your own ghost. There wasn't a lot you can do. And
right.
I'm not making excuses because I did think it was a good match. Kenny selling the stomach. And they do a few callback spots to their other matches. We got to see the drop kick, but then when I knew we weren't getting it, but when I knew it is when he did the middle finger. I thought he was gonna break out the old Rainmaker pose, and I'm like, okay, Okada's back. And then he did the middle finger, and I was like, oh, okay, that sucks. So I don't think the match was bad by any means. I actually say it was good to great. It was just when you're comparing good to great to once-in-a-lifetime generational matches, it's never going to measure up. So I really enjoyed the match, though. I really did enjoy the match.
Yeah,
and I'm glad with who they picked as the winner.
Yeah, I am as well. Yeah, it's a bummer, but I'm not going to be like, oh man, I wish it was a 5-star classic. I'm so happy I was there for that match, man. I wanted to be there from the moment that Okada showed up in AEW. I was like, I need to be in person to see Omega Okada, and I was there. So how mad can I be? I can't. It was a really good match. Wasn't to the level of what they did before, but come on, man. It's like
I feel like it was the first of a new series. That's what it felt like to me.
I hope that's the case, man. I hope that's the case.
I'm not saying it is. It's just it felt like this is the first of the AEW series. We did it in New Japan. Now we're doing it in AEW. And I think you're going to get a whole different progression.
Yes. And then we get to the main event, the AEW World Championship match, Texas Death Match between Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. No horse. I swore we were going to get a horse. I swore. I really did. I know Hunter Horse Hemsley is dead, but I was expecting a horse. But that was, his entrance was great. I love the touch of on the show, on the actual feed, they were waiting for him to come out of the heel tunnel, and he didn't. He came out of the face tunnel. I love that the cameraman was waiting for that, and then they turn right and they see Hangman. Such a great spot. Honestly, a really good moment. Like, it was obvious that, like, you know, you saw him come out that way from the show, but the way they filmed it for TV, just love that. Crowd was so hyped. They wanted Hangman so badly. Like, there were very few people who wanted Moxley in that crowd, which is perfect.
Yeah, because, you know.
The fact that, yeah, I know.
That person was in the first row, like.
I know. The fact that this match, one of the first spots of this match was Hangman holding Mox in a triangle, taking a fork, and stabbing it into his forehead, basically turning him into Abdullah the Butcher, and he's stabbing him and blood just starts gushing out of his forehead. Like, it was insane. I was like, oh my God, like, we're not even a few minutes in and this shit is already happening. Everyone's bloodied, barbed wires everywhere. Mox brings out broken glass. Yeah, that was great. And, you know, unlike a certain jackass, it wasn't the only spot of the match. There was actually other good shit in the match itself. We didn't make the whole moment about that match, that spot. So, like, it was good. Cause that's how you actually do a fucking match. You know what I mean? That's how you do that.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. It was, this, man.
Dude,
yeah,
it was vicious. It was violent. I love Marina getting involved, biting at Hangman, and then Marina gets fucking suplexed through a fucking table off the apron.
Absolutely. Man, this was carnage. And seeing it 5 feet away from you was like, it was hard to take it all in. I almost missed a couple things that happened. Dude, like, I can't put into words what this was. This was like being in a different world after what you had seen all the way. But yeah, going through the table,
fucking the goddamn powerbomb to Hangman. I mean, Hangman gave to Mox on the chairs, like the top of the chairs.
Yes,
his arm was like, I thought he tore his arm off his body.
Yes. Dude, the only way to do this in the world is Mox needs to be off TV for a while. You know? Yeah. It was like he did that. God, there was so much stuff. You know, him yelling at Marina, just like, he's just barking orders. Put this here, put this there. It was just like this character that he has created over the last 8 months. You saw the full evolution of everything. He's Dictator John in this. He came out and he was a true heel. He was despicable. People were cheering for him, like right next to him, like, go Mox. He didn't even acknowledge it. He just went straight to beating Hangman. It was like anything you said to him pissed him off more, and he was going to beat on him more. Dude, it was so cool. It was so cool. Yeah. That dude is a master of his craft. I just like anybody that thinks because he was playing this character over the last 8 months that kind of put on boring matches and stuff, if you think that means he couldn't wrestle anymore, you are sorely mistaken. That dude understands this on a level that few of us will ever understand anything.
Yeah.
And I just want to give Matt John Mox's props because I do believe he is a huge reason. Him and the Death Riders are a big reason for the resurgence and AEW getting that feeling again and feeling hot again. He gave the fan base an enemy, and they didn't have one. And it has worked because, let's be real, when MJF is mean to people, people like it. They cheer it on. They want him to be mean to people. FTR went heel, they're getting more cheers now. You know what I mean? And it's just like, So to find someone that was so despicable that even the people that like heels still hated him, this was a master in storytelling.
Yeah. And I love how Hangman is basically, he's still not going away, basically. And Mox is getting furious as even with Claudio and Gabe Kidd and all them coming out to overwhelm him, and all that kind of stuff. Ospreay makes the save, but gets decimated with a chair, and they stretch your Ospreay out of the way, and Hangman's still not going away even after another pile driver, a bulldog choke, and then the Death Rider onto the chair, and Hangman keeps standing up. Eventually, Mox gets so frustrated that they give him the plastic bag, and he's getting ready to put it over his head. And then on the giant screen, you see Mount Everest. And everyone knows it's Darby. And it's Darby pointing the video at himself, no mask on, as he's like just gasping for air at the top of Mount Everest, being like, I'm on top of the fucking world. Jon Moxley, I'm coming down to take everything from you. And then everyone's waiting for Darby, looking around. And then all of a sudden, Blue Panther shows up. But it's not Blue Panther, as he starts chanting yes, and he does the yes movements, and crowd goes insane as Danielson comes back, returns, hits the Psycho knee on Claudio and them, and then all of a sudden he's yes kicking everybody, and he proceeds to just hit every Death Rider in sight, getting revenge on the guys that took his title and took him out of action. And then you can see Darby slowly being lowered from the rafters, and then eventually he comes out from underneath the screen. Everyone goes nuts, and he comes down from the ceiling, descending like Sting, and then stares down at Moxley, and buckshot lariat. Darby jumps off and coffin drops onto everybody. Another buckshot lariat, and basically he's looking like he's gonna have it. Deadeye off the apron through the table. Marina Shafir helps him up to his feet. Then the Young Bucks come out, and I'm fucking pissed. And I'm just like, we were having fun until you showed up, you fucks.
And this was my last.
That was your last gasp of hope.
The last gasp of hope. Actually, my last gasp of hope was a guy that didn't show up that you would have hated.
I know. I was like, fuck you. No Jack Perry. Fuck you.
Yeah, so that was my last gasp hope, but this ended up being my last hope.
Yep. Because he didn't show up in the tag match either, and I was like, ha. They hit a super kick party and an EVP trigger, helping Moxley. And then they get a bed of nails from under the ring, and then they hit Hangman with blackout onto the bed of nails, and then a paradigm shift into the nails, but Hangman will not die. And then Moxley demands the briefcase, basically being like he wants him to taste it. But then as Marina Shafir tries to go and takes the briefcase handcuffed, someone's holding it, and it's Prince Nana, as he starts dancing on the side, and then Nana is doing that and handcuffs Marina Shafir to the barricade, and then Swerve comes out and he knocks out the Young Bucks, and then has his steel chain, takes out the Young Bucks, gives it to Hangman. Hangman immediately takes it, wraps it around his fist, and then punches him with it, then tries to hold him over the top rope. He gets out of it, but then he's able to hit him with a buckshot lariat onto the bed of nails, heaves him over the top rope, and hangs Jon Moxley with the chain. And Mox, panicking, frantically trying to get out of it, he can't. And as he's losing air, he taps out, and Hangman Adam Page does it. He is the new AEW World Championship. He is the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And then he has the briefcase. He opens it, and he has the AEW Championship. There was a small part of me that was like, man, what if Green Slime shot out just like it did on Seth Rollins? Mox would have been like, I got you again, motherfuckers. Where's Mitch the potted plant? That shit would have killed me.
Yes. I was hoping it was empty.
I know. But what was a really great touch was them keeping Danielson's side plates on the belt, basically keeping it like that belt didn't change from the moment Moxley shoved it in there and then didn't bring it out basically for months. It was a really good touch that they did that actually. But he holds it over his head. Texas eating tonight. And Hangman is the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Moxley's reign of terror has been ended. And that was AEW All In. So
Okay. And I want everyone to know this. In the moment, even now, man, like an explosive moment. Sent everybody home happy. At the end of a 6-hour show, you better send everyone fucking home happy. So shout out to AEW for doing that. Shout out for the Hangman. This is what I'm going to say. I have a thought process when it came to this, why I picked Mox. I just hope every one of you all that said Hangman had to win, that wrestling wasn't going to be right, that AEW was going to be broken if Hangman's win. If Hangman didn't win. When there's a show in your area, when there's merch to be bought, you pay for it. You support this guy in his reign. Because I don't want to be right. And if I am right, you won't hear about it. Because if I'm right, that means something bad's going on, and I will never cheer for anything bad to happen in AEW. But understand, I thought Mox winning was best for the company. But Hangman was amazing for the moment. So, shout out to Hangman. It's funny that we talk about this with Hangman, him being the main character. Of course, I was at Double or Nothing when he won the Casino Battle Royale to get the match it all out. Then, of course, I was all out. First row when he lost to Jericho. Then I was at Full Gear when he lost to Kenny Omega to not get a title shot. Then we were at Full Gear the next year. When they did the Battle Royal the next year and he won, I was there. Then he won the title. Shockingly, I was there. We were both there when he lost the title years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And then we were there to see him get the title back. So it's funny that the whole main character stuff, and it's like I didn't even realize it till I was sitting at home, like in the aftermath, in the afterglow of the show. I mean, literally, somebody's like, man, sex is great, but have you ever went to All In? Because, motherfucker, I was in the afterglow. I have never gotten out of sex. And it was just like, I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, I've been there for Hangman's whole story. All of it. Yeah. All of it. All the pieces. The tag team championship, losing the tag team championship. I was there for all of it. And it's just like, I've always heard he's an amazing dude. You know, he at some point he did rub me the wrong way. At some point. I am, but at this point, for me, I'm all about what's best for AEW. And if this is the guy, the face of AEW that's going to drive ticket sales, get people's asses in seats, move belts, do all the stuff that he's supposed to do as the champion. And this is me speaking as a fan, not as somebody that looks and reads a lot of business metrics. But if this thing still feels hot, and it feels like the audience is behind them, and we can keep the momentum that has been there since the middle of January, you will never hear me say a word. He was the right guy. I was wrong. I will be so fucking happy to be wrong. So fucking happy. Because all I've ever wanted is AEW to succeed. I had a thought on what was best for that. They didn't agree. That's fine. We'll see how it turns out. And I hope it turns out well.
Yep. And hell of a match to close out the show, man. This probably, after rewatching everything, I think this will probably be my favorite match of the show. So, it was just like everything came together really well. The vicious, the violence was vicious. And it was fun. It was really fun. And again, as reluctantly as I will say it, because in the moment, man, I was absolutely fucking sick of it. But in the moment, this is why heel reigns have to feel like you're basically being dragged across the bed of nails.
Exactly. What
I know.
Yes.
Because, like, dude, everyone was so fucking happy that Hangman finally did it.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. It's like you have to be begging for this moment for it to feel this good.
And dude,
you have to go through shit in order to be able to experience the euphoria of that moment.
They just, and you know what? It's like they speed ran the bloodline. You know what I mean? Instead of doing it over 4 years, they did it in what was it? Because he won it
basically
August.
Yeah, he won it. He won it at Wrestle Dreams. So.
Yeah. It's been about 9 months or whatever.
9 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they did it. He did an excellent job. And you can't listen to everybody when they're not getting what they want. You can't. You have to keep doing it, because when you don't give people what they want, they keep buying tickets to hopefully be there at that moment. The problem is, unfortunately, is when you eventually do give them what they want, a lot of times, unfortunately, people will be like, oh, I'm good, and check out. That is what I'm asking the fan base not to do.
Yes.
Don't check out. You like, this is the time to support Hangman.
Yeah.
And like him winning it and getting it, that was great. But the real time to support Hangman is now, through buying tickets, buying pay-per-views, buying shirts. That is
supporting
how you
his
support.
feuds, yeah.
Yeah, like, supporting his feuds. That is how this matters, is if you keep the momentum. If you tap out, when you move out, you tapping out. And that's why I love that they kind of set MJF there as that overarching thing.
Yeah.
And they could do some other things. And you know what? This is one of those times I have to follow my own advice as a wrestling fan. I'm going to trust in Tony. I'm going to trust in TK. He has a plan. He's going to execute it. It's going. But I'll stop there and land on this point. I never thought I would say that I had a greater wrestling experience than All In 2018. That was one of the hottest crowds I've ever been in. It was amazing. But as far as a total wrestling experience, I'm talking Starrcast, all that stuff, sitting where I'm sitting. This was the best wrestling experience of my life. I tweeted out there. This is not hyperbole. I sat with this for a day, and I will never forget this weekend. Because, again, and this is a shout out to my wife, Crystal. Like 100%. I know y'all probably even get tired of me talking about how amazing she is. But the idea that my favorite thing with my favorite person, I can't beat that. I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm going to remember this forever. And I'm going to keep going to shows and all that shit, but it's going to be fucking hard to top July 12th, 2025.
Oh, sure. And, this was especially special for maybe necessarily. So, for me, obviously, this is a hell of a weekend. It definitely was big in regards of, this probably topped All In 2018 for me that weekend. We had some really cool moments of taking part of Starrcast that weekend and, doing our podcast there when me and my buddy Chad did our podcast when we were just in college and shit like that, and MJF crashed our podcast. That's still one of the coolest moments I've experienced in this line of work. And then, of course, being in that building for that show. But yeah, I think this surpassed it. It's going to be near impossible for any show to pass All Out 2021 for me. That show still means so much to me. I don't know if anything's going to top it. And that's just me. You know what I mean? I'm a pissy little boy, and I like my shit like that. And I just being there for that was special.
And you're allowed to feel that way,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for I think it was even more special for my sister Sydney, because this is kind of her last hurrah. She's still gonna go to shows at some point if she gets the time. But I mean, this is her last big show and big weekend before late in August when she goes to go into vet school. This is her last huge hurrah. Like, she did everything. We made sure we hit everything we possibly could. We spent a shitload of money. We made it to the show. We had a ball. Like, this was big for her. Like, I think this will probably be the weekend that means the most to her out of her time of being a wrestling fan, because there will be shows that come by and they'll enjoy them and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, this was her last big hurrah until she goes into this huge venture for her career and her life and all that kind of stuff. And she got to do some amazing shit. Again, shout out to Steve for hooking up that Mercedes Moné meet and greet. He did not need to do that, and he's a real one for doing that, like, genuinely. And then shout out to everybody that we saw, JR and everybody, and, you know, all of our friends that we met up with from Tom Grassi's group of people and everything like that. Shout out to him. Shout out to the people that we were busting shit with when we were talking wrestling with people in line and in our seats and everything like that. Everyone was fun. I never had a real bad experience with anybody. Even the guy that was like screaming his ass off, he was just in it, but he wasn't being an asshole about it. He was just very overly excited. But yeah, that's more than anything is the thing that I'm going to take out of this weekend is, like, it's just cool that this is kind of like this big, like, huge moment for her. I mean, my little sister is going into vet school. It's a really fucking cool thing to say, and I'm so proud of her, and she's going to kill it, and she's going to do amazing things, and I'm so happy for her. And I'm going to miss her when she's in Long Island, but she's going to have a great time, and I'm going to be rooting for her and also playing. I'm sure we'll be playing Mario Kart and shit to help her de-stress and everything like that. So, yeah, that's what this weekend means to me, at least. I can't thank AEW enough for making this thing so much fun.
And that's the big thing. It's just, you know, great being in that spirit of gratitude, which I have just, you know, tried to be in this year. And it's grateful for all the people that hard work. A lot of people that worked for AEW had a hard time getting out of town, trying to get home. There was a lot of flooding in Dallas, so there was a lot of flight cancellations and stuff like that with, you know, flight cancellations and things, and I'm glad everybody seems to be getting home and everything, but the amount of time they put in there, some of the security people that were like there at 5:30 a.m. day of the show, and the show was still going at 7 p.m. and they had been there all day, you know. So, you know, shout out to them, you know, taking that time out, and everyone that has anything to do with the production. It looked amazing. You know, it made me proud, of course, to be an AEW fan. It made me proud to just be a wrestling fan. That, you know, all this stuff was there, and how many people in there, and it was how the building looked, and it was amazing. And I had the greatest time of my life. You know, like, again, if you had a different experience, fair. That's all I can say.
Yeah. That is for damn sure. But the last thing I'll say, though, for the weekend, obviously the male surprise meet and greet they announced for Starrcast was Darby Allin, of course. Me and Sydney met both of them afterwards. Was great. I got to tell Harley, like, hey, you introduced me on the Jericho Cruise for karaoke, and she's like, yes, holy shit. So that was a real big moment of me just being like, I fucking love you. Like, you made my whole year doing that shit, first of all, and I'm so happy to see you back, and, like, you're literally one of my favorites. She's like, oh, you're the sweetest, I love you, all that. And, like, we took that picture. I finally got my picture with Harley. I finally got it. Took fucking forever, but I finally got it.
Yes. I want to, after the show, I got to hang out with everybody from Social Suplex. Thank you for welcoming me into your clique. I love that. People got to meet Lyric from Lyric Wrestling online. Saw Amy and Andy. Dude, I am forgetting someone, and if I am forgetting you, I'm sorry. I ran into and took a lot of pictures with a lot of people, but just know I appreciate you all for being there. Y'all all make me come off like a really big deal to my life, and I got to tell you, that makes it that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think we're just kind of rambling on, saying the same shit at this point.
And then last thing too is, when we met Darby, I was like, hey, I'm so fucking happy to see you back. right before our picture, he goes like, yeah, it would have sucked if I died. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I started laughing like as we were taking the picture. I look like I'm like busting the gut when we're taking the picture because Darby caught me off by surprise so hard.
Dude, yeah, it would have. It would have. That was an understatement. But
yeah,
shout out to Darby. You know,
shout out.
Dude,
my boy's back.
Clown Mount Everest comes down, re-debuts it all in. Hell yeah. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah. Now, we don't have anything announced for Dynamite for this Wednesday, so we don't have anything to preview, basically. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Shows, from what I understand, it's the beginning of the Chicago residency. Looks like the show's basically sold out. Girl Christine's going to be there. Shout out to her. Everybody enjoy the show. You know Chicago's going to be lit.
Yeah.
And we'll cover it next week.
Yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of All Things Elite, guys. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed All In Weekend. Thanks again for listening to this show. If you enjoy the podcast, download the show on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Turn automatic downloads on. Whatever you choose to listen to us on, though, give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at AT Elite Pod, at Social Suplex. Make this show possible, and they have a bunch of great shows you should check out on their network. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. Go to Chop Tees and get a t-shirt. Sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter. Links are in the description. And Floyd, I will let him take us home on this All-In Texas edition of All Things Elite.
All I got to say to end the show is Jackie, me, you, Toronto, Canada, September 20th. I will not accept no for an answer. With that, I will leave you how I always leave you, whether it's home, work, or school. Always do your best to be elite.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.